Welcome to the Green Light Podcast. Monday afternoon, excuse me. And I'm joined here by Dr. Fax.
Yep.
I got Nolan. I got Cowboy. I got the Butter King, who got his ears taken in or up. I don't know how you say that, but he got a haircut, I think.
Yes, I did, Chris. Thanks for noticing. How's it look?
I think it looks great. Let me start you off with your compliment off the top.
Hell yeah, brother.
I also think the hat looks great. Yeah, so can you take your hat off so I can see the haircut, though? So I can stand on business? Yeah, pretty good, dude. You got some flexibility with that lettuce. All right, welcome to the show, everybody. What are we rating that slate out of 10?
Better than the last couple of weeks. That was fun.
Oh, dude.
You
were into it?
The 1 p.m. were
Because the
great.
Broncos weren't playing.
Yeah, right. There's no stress.
No stress. The
Yeah.
4 p.m. window is just a bloodbath.
That was rough.
Dude, the 4 p.m. window at 5:30 p.m., the score in the three games was 78-3. 78-3. The NFL doesn't have a problem. But more slates than not have been kind of mid the last 4 to 6 weeks. I'll just say that. Rescued by a great game down in Tampa yesterday, and then, a rock fight on Sunday night. The score was a baseball score at the half. So, I like that. You like that? I do.
There was a great tweet. It said the Dodgers hit a 3-1 homer and they take a 5-3 lead over the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That easily could have been a baseball game, dude. It was crazy. But we start today with Daboll hung on a while. He really hung on a while. But I think it ended for him in Denver.
Do you think Daniel Jones, was it with anything with Daniel?
I think the Daniel Jones thing hurts for sure, but also the fact that, Jackson Dart has looked good. That was like a feather in his cap, right? This is my Hail Mary. This is my lifeline as the offensive head football coach for the New York Giants is if I can get this kid to play well, I'm keeping my job. That's probably what he thought. And somehow he's lost his job, but the kid has played pretty well out of the gate. And I think it has a lot to do with blowing these leads, which is not, obviously defensive coordinator and the decisions he makes at defensive coordinator and keeping Bowen around. I don't know what happened behind closed doors there, but maybe he's I'll give him another year or whatever. And that hasn't worked out, and they've blown leads and they've mismanaged games and there've been injuries. But I also think there's an opportunity cost. You're sitting there and you're thinking, okay, I've got my franchise quarterback in Jackson Dart. I have a dynamic young running back in Cam Scatterby who's going to be, healthy at some point. I've got Malik Neighbors, most importantly, who is a generational talent outside. And I've got this fucking great defensive line that got pressure all day yesterday, but can't find a way to win that game because the secondary is terrible and defensive scheme's terrible. So I think the GM stays. I think Joe Shane should stay. And I think he should be involved in the process and picking the new head coach. And I think it should be a defensive head coach. I do. I'm just now I know there's the whole thing about once you hire a defensive head coach, your offensive coordinator, if the quarterback's any good, gets him promoted to being a head coach within 2 to 3 years. And you got to go through this whole thing at quarterback again. But I look at Jackson Dart as a lower end franchise, a lower end. Okay, I will say this. He's not one of these guys that I'm oh God, I got to set the table around this guy for the future. The hire is directly related to the quarterback. I think it's
Bo Nix, kind of.
I think he's.
Would you say that
he's got more potential than Bo Nix?
Okay.
I do, and I'm not, and that's a compliment because Bo Nix is
1-0.
Is what are the Broncos' record right now?
Just kidding. Huh?
What's the Broncos' record right now? 7-2, 8-2.
8-2.
And Bo Nix could hone his game a little bit, and they leave a lot of money on the table there. But I think Jackson Dart's got a chance to be a good player. I do think, though, with the front you have and, the culture you want to build, a defensive head coach would be fine. And, there are names like Jesse Minter. It's also a lot easier to peg, the next defensive head coach. And that's kind of in vogue. Look at what Mike McDonald did up in Seattle. Dude, I think he's got a chance to be one of the best coaches in the league. Already is.
Yeah.
So,
I also think part of the reason the defensive coach could make sense is looking at the way this team's performed. and this obviously contributed to Daboll losing his job, is like the things you thought they were going to be good at this year, it hasn't panned out that way. Like the defense has been brutal. I mean, they're 29th in EPA per play allowed, but I think that defensive roster is a lot better than they've performed. So defensive head coach, at least improving the defensive play calling.
Yeah.
There's more delta there for the overall performance of the team. If you improve that defense in year one, it's going to help the quarterback too.
That's right, man. And there's no easy way to do it when you do hire defense because, again, you might have to cycle through some offensive minds. But
hey, let my ex-teammate Kafka cook for a few weeks. Bro.
Kafka,
Man, let him cook, yo.
I want to let Kafka cook, man. That's
Can I throw a different head coach candidate in the ring too for the Giants?
Sure.
You got Kafka, interrupt you there, but Spags.
Spags.
I'd love to see Spags head coaching job.
That's a really good point. Well, I mean, it's getting late for him to make the jump to head coach. Like he's kind of sat there, and I'm sure he's had a lot of interest. I know he's taken some interviews, but like he's kind of been like, I like my office here. You know, I like coaching. Defense with Chris Jones and McDuffie and these guys, and coaching for a defense with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. But maybe if this is his last best chance, like he takes it. I don't know.
What about old petty Bill Belichick?
See, this is the one I kind of like.
Oh,
I kind of like this one.
Are beefing right now. Imagine him go be the coach for them.
Well, that's the pettiness is the key word because it would start to make sense that maybe like I'm not saying that he did the UNC the number 2 that they've done down there on purpose, but like if after the hiring cycle when he interviewed with Atlanta and that sort of thing, and they picked Raheem Morris over him and that sort of thing, like maybe he was like, I'll bide my time and get back in one more time. This would be his. I mean, if he wants to coach again, it'd have to be soon, and I don't know, but it is a fun thing to think about. He was the DC there for 5 years and enjoyed a lot of success.
It's someone like him. He's like, oh, I could do a lot of stuff with that defense.
Yeah, but then for them, like again, we have the same conversation where it's like, well, Bill, you don't get to buy the groceries and cook dinner. You just cook dinner, and you have to stay out of the offense. Like you have to let whoever we pick to be the offensive coordinator be the offensive coordinator. And I don't know if Bill would go for all that.
Maybe he will.
But at this stage, you would have to. He might not even be on their radar. But this is the right call. At some point, you have to let Daboll go. He had a chance to stick the landing on this thing. How do you draft the right guy and still lose your job? Look at the way their games have ended up over the past month of the season.
And you mentioned it against the Cowboys, Broncos, and Bears. The Giants had a 92.3, a 99.3, and a 96.9 chance of winning late in the fourth quarter. Lost all 3 of those games.
Got to close those out.
No bueno.
Odds of all 3 happening is 1 in 60,000.
1 in 60,000.
Yeah.
I just thought about this. But like,
wow.
Would you be
1 in 60,000?
Would you be mad at letting your buddy come back, give him a job if he jumps ship again? What if Saleh jumped in for the Giants job?
I don't know, man. I
defensive coach.
No, I don't dislike the defensive head coach thing, and I'm not well versed enough in like the business of football to know who they're talking about this morning in the facility. But I do think defense would suit them fine. I love their front. I love their front. I do. So, anyways, we've got a firing this morning. We had to start with that. Should we start with the international game?
Let's do it.
This was a good game, man. We kind of knew it would be a good game, and there were points. There were points late. There were points early. In the middle of the game, it kind of got bogged down a little bit there. But I think the game comes down to one thing when you talk about the Falcons, and they are wildly inconsistent. And the next name on this list with Daboll might be Raheem Morris at some point, like where we thought it was Mike McDaniel for a while. He looks like he's safe for a while, whether that's like you can't leave. You got to see this thing through. You can't just escape to San Francisco or what have you. Right. It looks like the Falcons, just due to their inconsistency. I mean, like, look at Raheem Morris's clock management. Before the half, 3rd and 11 from the Indy 25, after a sack, 47 seconds left in the first half. Falcons are up 14-13. They got 2 timeouts. Raheem Morris decides he wants to take them into the locker room with him. I don't know what he's playing with them or what at the half, But, you end up with a pick and a penalty after that, and you have to take it to the half. And at the end of the game, I thought this was another one, 25-22 with 1:03 to go. You've sacked Daniel Jones at the 37-yard line. You need to kick a field goal. That is what Indy's playing for at that juncture. They're not going to try to get it all back in one play. They need an easier field goal. They want to go to overtime. They think they can win it in overtime. So you, as the Falcons, need one more possession, and you need it with as much time as you can get on the clock. There's 1:03 to go. Instead of taking the timeout, you let Indy dump it down, and that's 38 seconds to go. You get the ball with like 25 seconds to go, so you lose a ton of time. That's not the only problem I see when it comes to game management from this staff. The biggest problem for me, though, is this, and I said this last week, and I don't. When I say something like I don't know if Penix is the guy, I'm not saying that like he's not the guy. Maybe I'm. That's a me problem. I'm not taking a side. What I'm saying is like the conversation is going to be had at some point. That's the direction it's going. It is early, but he has not been able to beat man coverage. And I thought with the addition of Sauce Gardner, it was pretty clear to me that Lou Anarumo said, and this is without Ward on the field, we are going to man these fucking guys up. And I could not believe it when I punched it into my little computer here last night. Indy 18% cover one on the season, 45% yesterday. And Penix has struggled versus man coverage all year long. Yesterday, 6 of 14 for 61 yards with a 56 rating. They're 31st in EPA per play versus cover one on the year. So like, this doesn't even necessarily mean that when Ward gets back, this is going to turn into a man coverage outfit. They just were like, dude, we can man this guy up. He can't make the tight window throws. He doesn't see it. And that's who he is right now. That could change a lot, and Robinson's not a great OC. But at the same time, that's who I see when I look at the Falcons quarterback right now, and that's a problem.
Yeah, and piggybacking off the clock management piece, like sometimes you hear people say like, ask about a head coach who doesn't call plays. It's like, what does that person do outside of like setting the culture and those kinds of things? And it's these games where you see how critically important the clock management is, especially in close games like this one that goes into overtime where not managing the clock the right way, not managing the timeouts the right way, you put yourself in disadvantageous situations that when the offense isn't playing well, you can't overcome them. And you also aren't creating advantages. Like we'll get to the Pats and the Bucks later. Mm-hmm. Like what Vrabel has done multiple times throughout his career is put his team in advantageous situations with the clock. But it's been a recurring theme for them, and it extends to the quarterback too. Like we're not seeing that like command of like situational football with Penix.
No,
too.
You see a bunch of groundings. We've seen groundings all year long. To me, this offense is way too talented to sputter the way it does.
Right.
But we got to give the Colts credit. I mean, this is a game where there is a distraction of Sauce coming in. He's got a couple days to onboard. You still do have guys down in the secondary. And you're going to Germany the week after you get the shit kicked out of you. You turn the ball over 6 times. And for much of this game, you don't convert I don't think either team converted a third down for 45 minutes.
Yeah,
it was crazy. And it took Indy a ton of time. They get into plus territory. They're playing with their food. It just wasn't their best performance. And it wasn't Daniel Jones' best performance. But with the game on the line, just some really gutsy plays from him. He's got blood in his teeth. I said he looked like he was eating Kona ice, dude. A lot of people bleed and it runs down their face, but it just stuck in his teeth.
It looked like he was drinking vodka cranberries all night.
He had the tiger's blood Kona ice, dude. It was just stuck in his teeth. But this is a game where Jonathan Taylor, who is in the MVP conversation for a good reason, ends up breaking the big run late in the game that allows them to get back in it, really. And another MVP for them, for that team, low-key, is Tyler Warren, who I said is the closest thing to Gronk I've seen from a frame standpoint and a catch radius standpoint. On 4th and 2, that ball it's up for grabs. Mm-hmm. It's up for grabs. And just to put it up to him with the awareness that, like, 33 is too small. You know, anybody with that kind of number is too small for Tyler Warren.
And then the sail route later to put them in plus territory in overtime too. I mean, those are critical plays in the game. That's where they're trying to go. That was a nice
ball from Daniel Jones.
That was a good ball. As up and down as he was.
That's what I was wondering. What is Warren's offensive rookie of the year odds? They've got to be going up.
Oh, yeah. He's got to be way up there. He's been incredible. I mean, you
Man.
mentioned the Gronk thing. Like, it's almost like you take Gronk and, like, not to get too far out ahead of our skis, but, like, it's like taking Gronk and exchanging, like, the dominant point of attack blocker thing for, like,
A little bit more.
almost more of, like, guy can play running back,
Yeah.
you know, like what he can do to create with the
He's
ball in
got a
his
little
hands.
more basketball player, and you know, like Gronk doesn't look like a guy that's going to give you 20 and 10 out there at the
Right.
Drew.
Yeah.
But I could kind of see Tyler Warren
No
doing
doubt.
that.
Yeah.
You know, and so you see him getting the ball in creative ways. You mentioned the Wildcat, you know, handing him the football. Like, he's just a bit of a Swiss Army knife. He's a big Swiss Army knife, but he is a Swiss Army knife. And I think Zaire Franklin also making those 2 big plays in overtime to shout the defense out. Fellow podcaster, shout out to Zaire, making a play in the run game on first down and then making a play.
The timing on that
passer.
blitz.
Yeah, that was
so nice.
that was perfect.
That was so money. That was like Troy Polamalu. That was sick. He timed it up so perfectly. That's a shit at the end of the game where you know they've been using the same snap count,
Yeah.
you know, and they're like in Berlin and all that stuff. And he timed that up so perfectly.
Should we be talking about Jeff Ulbrich like he's going to be a head coach one day? I think he's getting docked because of his beard.
Well, and maybe his son.
Well, no, the son thing, but he's coached so well this year that I've kind of
And
forgotten
last
about
year.
the son thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's been great everywhere. I've really enjoyed watching his defenses play. But
Son
like,
is the prank call on draft night.
yeah, yeah,
It's such a shame they can't stop the run because third downs are a motherfucker against these
dude.
guys.
And they've done it now to a couple of good
Yeah.
quarterbacks. I mean,
Josh, Drake May.
they've made guys look funny in spots, and so you know, like, and we said coming into the season, like for them to be good, they've got some good cover pieces. They drafted well outside, like they added great safety, slot guy.
Yep.
They've added rushers, but it's a young defense, and they've found a way to step up. But this is a big win for the Colts, man.
Tyler Warren plus 500. This was before this weekend, but he had plus 500 odds on BetMGM. Jackson Dart plus 140 and Emeka Egbuka plus 125.
The versatility, man. I don't know if there's like, I'm thinking of like offensive skill players who you can get like that creative with. Like the only name I can come up with is Rashee Rice in terms of like what he can do to separate, win 50-50 balls, create after the catch, and
do other
wildcat
things as
stuff,
well.
Take the handoffs, all those things. It's
When I think
a really
about
short list.
when I think about versatility, generally, I think about Tonga from the New England Patriots a little bit too. You know, he's their Matlock. Dude.
Yep.
And but yeah. So, anyways, we don't have to go all day on this game. It was like I love.
Can I give one guy a shout out?
Yeah, for
before we
sure.
move on for this game. I think Alec Pierce is having an unbelievable season.
He's great.
And it's like I don't know if it's just his nature, like he's not necessarily a super showy guy, but the way he's been playing, I think he deserves to get more love, and I think he deserves to get talked about more.
Contract year for
Been,
him,
like-
too.
He's gonna get paid.
Yeah,
He's gonna get paid.
he was pretty good. He was really good yesterday.
Somebody's gonna pay him a lot of money. Yep.
It's a great call. He like kind of came in the league as that like vertical threat guy, but he's really developed a full route tree, and that's where you're seeing him factor in at all three
They
levels
just have
now.
so much size.
Yeah.
They have so much size. They're such a big offense. And not to mention they've had the Mo Alley Coxes of the world there for a little while where, they've got these big tight ends and the offensive line does a good job. But they had trouble with those pressures, man.
Mm-hmm.
They had trouble with those pressures. So something they're going to want to put the fire out on. Bolts Steelers, the Sunday night game. Dude,
Electric. As in
pun
too
It was
much
hard to
yellow.
watch for a while, man.
As in too much yellow.
it was a lot of. Can I give you my because this is my kind of game here. I think a couple things for the Steelers. I think the Steelers have an offensive problem. I don't think I know. Like, it just is what it is. I think we've known this most of the year. Like, when you look at guys that Aaron Rodgers can rely on, the list is very short. And I think, honestly, like I've been joking about it with Darnell Washington, but he seems like as sure-handed a target as they have, who's going to be in the right place and catch the fucking ball when they throw it to him. Spencer Anderson having to play guard kind of broke up the momentum they had running that huge wing, as I would call it, with him in Washington outside.
1,200 pounds.
They still forced him into that spot last night in some situations. They would rotate another guard in and move him out. That's how bad they know they need that. And I thought the key to the game for the Bolts defense was setting edges. You watch the way Owe set an edge last night. Thule, Mack down at the goal line. Watch him set that edge prior to the safety. And I think that the Steelers wanted to come in this game and get to third and manageable. They were 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 7, run, pass, run, pass. But that first third down of the game, they got Owe singled up on Broderick Jones, and it was clear to me that they circled Broderick Jones and said, hey, we can beat him all day. He won. He spins inside. Thule beats him on an inside move the next third down. And then the third down is the safety. And so they were out of sorts early. And Rodgers had Gainwell in the angle route versus Henley down the goal line on that safety, but he just didn't hit him. And so Rodgers didn't play his best game. He missed the ball to DK. He sailed that ball to Jonnu Smith, which was probably the biggest miss of the game for him, other than the Metcalf touchdown possibly. That would have been a tough throw. But it's a sail concept. And, he's wide open in the red zone, and he puts it too high. I thought he forced the ball in the red zone on 4th down. Just not a great game from Aaron Rodgers. And honestly, at some point, you can't blame him. I'd love to just be like, hey, Rodgers didn't play well enough, but he's under siege, and they don't have anybody to throw the fucking ball to. So the thing that they could have done, and maybe they do going forward, is they were trying to get, the Chargers in heavier sets, and they had some success when they did, passing the football, but the Chargers were kind of resistant. They are – Broderick's a liability, man. Do you remember they were running that RPO in the red zone, and Broderick tried to snatch somebody's hands down, and instead he gets bowled into Rodgers, and Rodgers is like fucking dog cussing him. You go back to Broderick Jones jumping on him, celebrating that play, and it's like if he thought Broderick Jones was a real good player, he would have popped up and it would have been no big deal. But he's kind of like, this guy that's getting me killed between the whistles is getting me killed after the whistles. So your teams aren't afraid of your receivers, man. And I thought, in summation, we'll get to the Chargers, who played really gutsy, but the pressure plan for Rodgers worked, and the pressure plan for Justin Herbert did not work because Justin Herbert is a very fucking good quarterback. And they won in the slot all day to McConkey. And, and they attacked the backup corner when he came in the game and made him tackle. They just stayed at it. And the run game was just good enough. So it was a gutsy win by the Chargers. But yeah, the Steelers are going nowhere offensively. I don't know what changes for them.
Nah, man.
It's got to be the most concerning division leader there is right now, right? I mean, after a game like last night, they're at the top of the AFC North. They're 5-4. But I don't think anyone – I don't have a good feeling about them. I mean – the rest of the AFC North is not great right now, but you get the sense that, the Ravens are going to get it figured out here down the stretch. And then got some news today that Joe Burrow started practicing again. But
let's talk about that.
The ugliest 5-4 AFC North division leader there is. I don't know. I don't feel good about him.
That is the ugliest 5-4 AFC North division leader there is. I would agree. No, but I know what you're saying. It's the ugliest division leader, period, and it's the division that everybody knows is going to probably go to the Ravens, and it's a shame Joe Burrow got hurt because it feels like, as much we joke about the Bengals, like if he's up, even with that defense, they might be in the fucking driver's seat. So, and he's coming back. That's what they say, which to me kind of explains some of the emotions we've seen after the games. Like, to me, if you're watching from the outside looking in, a lot of people with that injury news kind of look at that situation and they're like, do they know it's over? Well, I guess they knew it's not over because Joe's doing like an Adrian Peterson thing, where all of a sudden he's way ahead of the timeline on this injury, and they must think they're going to get him back. I don't know if it'll matter because the defense is so terrible at this point, and they haven't been able to build a lead in the division. So, but that is something worth monitoring because 2-3 different outlets came out this morning and said, hey, word is he'll be back soon in December, whatever that means. So.
I mean, the Steelers' defense isn't all that good. Like, compared to the Bengals, it's a shame. It's almost like if let's say Burrow came back like next week, you'd actually probably feel good about the Bengals down the stretch, or better about the Steelers in terms of making a real push for a playoff spot.
Yeah.
Like the Steelers' offense, I mean, to Bo's point about just being the ugliest 5-4 team, it's just such a fragile offense. Like, especially when Isaac's out of the game, they're not running the ball as well. And then, we talked about on Friday, this being like it's almost like a race against the clock for them in this game with like the time to pressure versus time to throw. on plays where time to throw is greater than 2.6 seconds. Rodgers was 2 of 12, 21 yards, 3 sacks. It's just like a ticking time bomb.
And you could tell for Rodgers, like, I don't know if this is probably like the first time in his career, but he just has no continuity with like any receivers. Like you said, like
I gotta move this giant hat. I can't even see you.
Maybe it's Donnell.
Put it on.
Maybe it's the big tight end is the best guy that he can throw passes and be confident that he's going to be at where
Dude,
he needs to
electric.
be. But I just feel like every single game you can see Aaron Rodgers' head about to explode on like a pass he's making, and it's clear that like the receiver and him aren't on the same page. And I just feel like from week to week, if you're watching the Steelers, I think that's getting worse.
Right.
And it's just a matter of
It does
time.
look like it's getting worse.
And I just feel like him, and I feel like also too, Rodgers is a guy, like, if you're an amazing player, like, you could probably be a diva. But like someone like DK Metcalf, who is an amazing player, but like this year you're not really
lowercase a this year.
Exactly. No one's putting up amazing stats, so like no one wants to deal with you being a diva and you asking for the ball if you're not even on the same page when I do try to get you the ball. So
how about the triangle of like, well, it all starts with the Seahawks saying, we don't want Geno Smith. We'll take a draft pick too. And we like Sam Darnold, so they make the decision there. And then they make the decision, they're like, we don't need DK Metcalf. We've got JSN. And, you know, like, and Rodgers making the decision, hey, I'm going to go play in Pittsburgh. Not that he had a lot of choices, but, like, that's the one thing for me. Now, it's been 2 years in a row, 2 franchises in a row that he was able to pick his destination. And, you know, like, you can be upset, but, like, you didn't pick wisely. Because what is it about the Steelers offense that we didn't see coming, looking at them on paper?
Right.
You know,
But the defense,
Mike
I think,
Tomlin-
is the biggest surprise for me. And that's what was crazy about this game last night. Like,
Yeah.
dude, think about how banged up the Chargers O-line has been. And Herbert's been absolutely, like everyone's saying it, under siege every week. And the Steelers with this super highly paid defense, TJ Watt, Highsmith, Herbig, who was great, Keanu Benton inside, Cam Hayward. Like, it just felt like they didn't get any pressure on Herbert, which is like the first time all season. Credit to the Chargers O-line. Like, I thought they played pretty well, but you just expect so much more out of the Steelers defensively.
I thought the Steelers were back there a good bit, and there were moments in the game where, you know, and this is the second quarter where, you know, 42 came in the game, the backup came in the game,
James
Pierre. And they run a sweep at him, and he suplexes a dude. And I'm like, that's a penalty, right? Like, I love the play, but, like, in 2025, like, maybe when pregnant women were smoking cigarettes, you could do that, but not anymore. And they didn't call it. And then, like, the next play, Herbig, 2 plays later, gets around the corner, and he goes to sack Herbert. And because Herbert's 250, and Herbig's got to be, like, 230. You know, and I'm watching it, and in conjunction with the body slam, and then there's that play, I'm sure a lot of people are being like, yo, they're dirty as fuck, right? But I think what Herbig was doing, just to explain what he was doing, was he was trying to get Herbert down before the line of scrimmage.
Exactly.
Pass rushers don't think about, like, hip drop tackles. Like, that's not our game. And he's trying to get him down before he climbs the pocket to the line of scrimmage where it's no longer a sack. I know it because I watched him whip his head around to look at the sticks right after he got the sack.
Right.
And yeah, it was a hip drop. It didn't get called. And then 2 plays later, Highsmith ducks under the left tackle, Deculus. And, you know, just on the strength of him being so low, he falls into Herbert's legs. No call there. But I just wanted to say, like, Herbert ripped an in cut right after that hip drop. He played really tough last night. I know he was hurt and his knee hyperextended when Highsmith went low on him. And I thought he just showed a lot of resolve. Again, I talked about McConkey winning inside. You know, they had I don't know what happened on the fucking touchdown, but it looked like somebody busted there. And then, you know, they kind of, some of the biggest throws of the game were to him in the slot. So those were big moments. You know, Quentin Johnson, he was up and down last night, but he had some big boy plays. The big thing for them is Gadsden's got an MRI today. Yep. Which is going to be a backbreaker for them. I don't know how many times we can say it's going to be a backbreaker if they lose this guy, if they lose this guy. They're 6-3. It's crazy.
7-3.
7-3.
Isn't it incredible? They're at that part. They're tops of the AFC, one of the top 4 teams record-wise, and they are getting shelled on their offensive line, shelled in their running game, shelled with their receivers. I mean, we were talking earlier,
shelled in the memes too.
We get memed
because they were just showing that PFF had like all the O-line, like their rankings, and his starting O-line.
Yeah.
Every O-lineman is like of 36. They're like from 33 to 36, 34 out of 36.
Yeah, even a blind squirrel finds an acorn every once in a while.
Herbert doesn't need a good O-line. He's got that dog in him.
No, but you know what?
The real man's Josh Allen.
I think. Come on now. I think what it is with him that a lot of people don't want to admit is that he's doing a lot with a little. This morning I had said that last night in a social I had said that. And I've said this for a couple weeks now. Drake Maye should probably, if the season ended today, now Matt Stafford's in the building as well. It's like a Heisman race. All of a sudden, you look at Matt Stafford's numbers, you're like, well, fuck, this is boring. We might have to give it to like an elite Hall of Fame caliber quarterback. But the Drake Maye thing is legit. Like, he's doing a lot with a little. Justin Herbert's doing a ton with a little. You talk about their offensive line, everything they've been through, really a lack of dynamic weapons outside. I mean, Keenan Allen's older, still reliable, but he's not a world beater. And then McConkey's great in the slot. The tight ends come on, but you lose 2 running backs, you lose both your tackles. It's pretty impressive. And impressive for Greg Roman to be able to, hit the curveball in this thing where the run game is kind of what you built the whole season around.
That's the real thing to me. Yeah. No, you hit that on the head, Chris. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
Because I was just thinking that. When you look at their season from a macro level, like, this is not at all how they wanted to run their offense. Exactly what you just said. Their O-line's banged up. They lose their 2 running backs almost, it felt like in the first 3 weeks, right? And now you just get Herbert grinding out these gutsy wins with, to your point, facts, not the best offensive line. I think that's what's really impressive for me. Like, this is kind of a sleepy, really good team that's winning with fucking nothing. And, like, credit to their coaching staff for being able to adjust on the fly throughout the course of the year, not being able to run their offense that they want with Roman. And credit to Herbert for, like, it's just every week you feel like he's grinding out these wins. And, he's a pretty humble dude. I fucking love the guy. He reminds me so much of just like a chill California Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta see that comparison.
Well, I do, but one's from like Southern California, because of the wavy hair, and then the other one's from like a cantaloupe farm up north.
Cowboy.
Yeah.
Can we get a camera on Nolan quick for a sec?
Yeah, put it on him.
Is that check out that jersey right behind Nolan.
Look at that, dude.
Okay. Game worn.
That was awesome.
The producers had to bid against like 30 or 40 other people on eBay for that bad boy. Really, I was actually the one bumping the price up in the bids there, Cowboy.
Yeah, what's cool about that jersey? $15. Incredible. $15. You can get a lot of them too. They're all over. Bargain sale.
It was actually
if it's game worn, there's definitely not that many. I'll tell you that.
It was actually sourced by a local. I got a text from Christian, a big fan of the show, and he said, "Hey, I'm just scrolling Facebook Marketplace and saw this sick jersey." So
boom,
Facebook Marketplace, where the real deals are made. Bring that shit on Antiques Roadshow.
Did you have to meet somebody somewhere for that jersey?
No, it was a mail, U.S. mail.
Yeah,
it's pretty easy.
I don't like meeting people on Facebook Marketplace or on Craigslist.
Right.
That's the best part.
I could get like abducted.
That's the best. That's the best. That's the most exciting part.
Is you could get abducted.
You just never know.
You just never know.
Or you might meet someone who's like really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they said meet at my house.
Yep.
Come alone.
Come alone. I only want you to see it. All right. So the game of the day, Fax's big boy Pats taking a big boy win on the road against, in my opinion, a very good team. Not a team at full strength, but no excuses for the Bucs. I mean, they just got beat. And the Pats 7 straight now.
You need like a Duval thing for the Pats.
Drake.
Maybe that's
Drake.
it.
Yeah,
It's just Drake May, baby.
But they're an adult football team.
Yes.
And that's what's fun to watch. And I think
what I'm realizing?
What?
I'm realizing I like them a lot is because it reminds us, not saying we were like this, but how we were coached with Al Groh
in college. Yeah.
I just feel like this models what the Patriots are doing, and it's one of those things on defense. you have to stop the run. If you stop the run, it opens up everything for your defense, and it revolves around that. But if you're a team where you can't stop the run, we can't get into shit. We can't get into everything. And they're just a team that like you see the stats every week. Hey, no one's running over 50 yards against them. Like, no way they're going to sustain that. Here you go. Another good back comes in there. 50 yards. This past weekend, only 54 yards.
Yeah, we just made it over.
Yeah, just made it over.
Just made it over.
And you're like, damn, like, okay.
But
maybe
I do think
they had 113 yards rushing though.
Everything I thought Sean Tucker did a nice job.
I agree.
And I thought the run game was fine. Like they ran the ball well enough to win that game. But New England, man, like you come into the season and you say, hey, they're going to play with an identity. They're going to be tough. They're going to muddy it up. They're going to win these Vrabel spots. They've got a good front. They have a lockdown cornerback. They bring in Spillane. You know, they make certain moves. They rework the safety room.
I love Spillane.
But really what they've done that's shocked everybody is like they have made this offense serviceable with the personnel they've had outside and Diggs. They've maximized Diggs.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
how about Mac though too?
Oh my God.
Mac had a 50.
Oh, Mac was great. Drake trusts him.
6 for 106.
Yeah.
But that's the point is like I think it's obvious, but it's the offense to me that has put them in this position. Like you knew they'd have a pretty good defense.
Mm-hmm.
The defense started to play to their ability under you know, and the most amazing thing is they've got 2 D coordinators now this year with Williams leaving because of a health issue. And then I keep fucking it. Core.
It's Core.
Well, we need to start figuring out how to pronounce his name. He's doing a good job.
For the team website.
And I think the key to this game was, well, we've already talked about it. That Vrabel moment defined everything. You talk about the middle 8. You talk about like winning right before the half and out of the half. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I got problems with the Bucs game plan. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. They lay up and throw a screen in the red zone and then decide to kick a field goal. They go up 10-7. The next time they get the ball back, they're down 21-10. And it's because of what Vrabel did. And, you know, when you get down there and you take a knee the first play, Tampa's got no timeouts. It's like a minute 40 to go in the half. You are reducing your chances of scoring a touchdown by 25%. But what you are doing is eliminating the chances that the Bucs score at all, and it speaks to the confidence that they have in this young team. Okay, and that was an intense fucking sequence. There were between Greg Gaines, and the dude with the giant head, 92 for the Bucs. That guy's got.
Simmons, that dude does have a fucking giant head. I was looking at the guy, I was like, is that 465 pounder?
No.
I wasn't quite as familiar with Simmons. That dude's fucking huge.
These dudes were stacking people up. It was intense. Second and third down were like, that was some good football. That was the best football I saw played all day, was down at the goal line there. And to go on fourth down, little short motion Diggs, get the switch. You've got outside leverage to throw that ball to him, the toe tap, everything, man. It's everything that Vrabel would have wanted if he drew up his football team 10 weeks in the season. It's like these young fucking guys are going to be able to make plays like this and capitalize on my coaching decisions, which are unorthodox. And it changed the whole fucking game.
And then, bro, I'm just excited to see Diggs in kind of a new light. He kind of was a player that, granted, amazing wide receiver, probably a diva when he was in a lot of other places, and just to see the switch up of him here and you kind of seeing him past weeks going to the coordinator, just asking, hey, is there anything I can echo to the guys?
Yeah.
And just being a real leader, and he's really not the focal point of that offense. And when you're not the focal point, for some guys, that really clouds your judgment and how you feel maybe day to day in there. But to see that, it just seems like everyone in that building is on the same page, like from coach down in that locker room. It's just everyone, and I think it's a testament to everyone's on the same page. Trey Hendrickson running that touchdown.
Travion.
Travion.
Yeah.
Running.
Oh, I like Trey.
Yeah, looking at the sideline.
Running. Yeah, exactly. Running.
Yeah.
For
and
that
looking
touchdown,
at
and having the wherewithal to be like, hey, this is a situation where I probably could go down, but if Vrabel doesn't want me to go down, I'm not going to go down.
But he should have gone down.
He should have, but he
should have gone down. Look at him,
and I think someone told him go.
Yeah.
So he ended up scoring, and I just
there's too many arms on the sideline. That's the problem. You got people doing this.
Yeah.
And you're too. You know what's amazing is that he's so fast that he has the time to do that. There were also 2 moments in the game where Henderson, and he reached the ball out and then reached it back. Like, I can tell he thinks. Like, he thinks a lot, and maybe that's what's kept him off the field early,
Yeah.
you know, like a commitment to Ramondre Stevenson. But he's hurt in this game, and you need Travion Henderson. So 2 things in this game. Drake Maye, we talked about it, versus the blitz. That was going to be the main event. Like, can he handle Todd Bowles' blitz? 4 of 6 early in this game for 120 with a touchdown and 150 passer rating. The rookies, man, he checked them into that throw to Kyle Williams. He gets the man indicator, checks him into the throw. He has the trust to throw that 3rd and 7. Was it Diggs or Boutte? Where
Booty was down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, sorry. It was I thought it was Diggs or Pop Douglas, but it was Diggs. So Diggs hides behind Anthony Nelson, who pops out, and it's like a peekaboo. Like, he just trusts him, dude. So, you know, the trust on this team, trust in Mac Hollins, you talked about that, but the explosive plays to the rookies, man, that's exciting. And Henderson's going to carve out a role because, you know, you as a defense, and you know this, Bo and Nate, like, when you load the box and you're in 4-minute mode and you try to stop, this guy's got home run ability, dude. And you know, he could have broke another long run backed up on 3rd and 9. He was a tackle away, a shoestring tackle away from having 3 of these, like, long-ass runs. So I think, you know, it's exciting to be a Pats fan right now.
One more thing that was really impressive, and I know if you're a Pats fan and you've seen this, is just Drake Maye's ability to have short-term memory as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, in this game, he's just a couple of times where, you know, he kind of made bad plays, and then, like, the next play after, he's just ready to go and making big plays. And a lot of guys, like, it's hard for you to do that as a quarterback. I think sometimes you can make a really bad play and let it stick with you and let it linger. And I just feel like he just doesn't. It's like next play. And honestly, we're saying, I think that's a testament of how Vrabel's coaching everybody and letting guys know, like, hey, like, if you fuck up, like, put it past you. You get coached up later on it, but put it past you, go make a play. And, like, that, and they're just been doing that.
They overcame a lot of 3rd and longs early. The weather didn't cooperate.
Yep.
I said last night, it felt like the Truman Show, like somebody was controlling the weather for Tampa. And they overcame
it wasn't raining where I was at. I was watching the game, and I was like, oh, it's raining, and I'm looking outside like, what the fuck?
They're just dumping down
exactly
rain
like
on
the
Drake
Truman
Maye. And so, yeah, the Pats deserve a lot of credit. This was a big win for them on the road against a really good team. And I came away from the game last night and I said, hey, in their current form, the Bucs are like, they're like a one-and-done playoff team in their current form. If they get guys back, they're still one of the best teams in the NFC. But when I watch this offense, I kind of have concerns about the coordinator. Okay, I have concerns about the way they ran the offense. I also have said this all year. Baker Mayfield, you know, there was a moment where they were talking about him as an MVP because of his late game heroics and some of the high highs. He has not played his best ball consistently throughout the season. Now, he's been down a bunch of O-linemen. You get Gedeke back yesterday, that helps, but then you're starting like Feeney inside. You got nobody outside except Ibuka, and I think in this game, you know, when you have a guy that can take away your number one when they play man coverage, and on 3rd down, they don't really go to Ibuka. I thought early on in this game he was forcing balls to Ibuka. There were plays where one play, Tez Johnson had Carlton Davis fell down on an outbreaker, and if he caught the ball, he's still running. Otten, at one point, they go to Ibuka on a pivot on 3rd down. Otten's open in the middle of the field. There were just times where Baker, in my opinion, was forcing him the ball, and I hate the screens on 3rd and long. If you're not executing them well, I talked about one where they laid up, kicked the field goal. Next thing you know, they're down 21-10. You know, there was another one late in the game where they throw a screen to the field down low, backed up, and the O-line's got a long way to go get out there and make a block. So I just situationally, I don't think they have a great field. I thought the run game was pretty good, but the conservatism, 13 minutes to go, plus territory, after Otten catches the ball, he's 2.5 yards short of the sticks. You're not going there. You know, you're not going. You're chasing one touchdown. You could take the lead in this game, and I thought the depth again showed up at certain points. They're driving with a chance to win this game, as bad as things are, and do the same thing they've done all year. But you live by the sword, you die by the sword, right? You're not going to be 100% there. But on 1st down, ahead of that 3rd and 3 drop that Otten had, ahead of the 4th and 3 sack, you get a drop on a crosser as a catch and run opportunity. And, you know, when you got to go to guys like this, they got to be perfect, and they weren't, and Baker wasn't perfect either. So you got to give a lot of credit to the Pats defense. You talked about that DC bringing pressure, 50% blitz rate in the first quarter, and then ticked it up again in the fourth with the game on the line on 4th and 3. And I think what's so interesting about that 4th and 3 is if that safety's not, I forget which one, is coming downhill to celebrate the sack, if he's not doing that, he doesn't tackle Rashard White. And I don't know if he was dead, if the ball was dead, because we were watching 5 games. I don't think the ball was dead. I think it was in play when Rashard White caught that ball on 4th and 3. The safety's coming down to fucking celebrate, and he finds himself in a position to make the play. If he doesn't do that, he might pick up that first down. So, just great team defense. Chase on made some big plays for them. Tonga played. Watch him in 94 fit in a fucking trap in this game. Like, those guys, you talk about depth inside. Those guys are great.
Third was 94.
And then not picking up a penalty on third. This is the smart shit that a Vrabel team does. Like, it's Gonzalez and I forget who else on 3rd and 3, and they could have banked Otten and hit him in the head, and they found a way not to
Woodson,
Woodson found a way not to get a penalty and get off the field a play later. So not Tampa's best day. Yeah. They went from top 5 on 3rd down to bottom 5 to 10 on 3rd down this year. I think it's the OC. I think it's the guys outside. And I don't think Baker's been perfect either.
Shout out to the NFC.
Well, let's talk about the
NFC South.
I was going to say the defense for the Bucs. We haven't talked about it at all either.
Yeah.
Pretty disappointing day from them, man. I mean, I played on that defense with Todd. His number one priority every week is to stop the run, especially in critical moments like the end of the game. But, I mean, Henderson had 147 yards rushing. He had that 69-yard run at the end that Fax mentioned earlier. He also had like a 50-yarder. I mean, this is the Bucs defense historically like really, really sells out to play the run, and they disguise that with a lot of the blitzes that they do too. They had a pick in the red zone that Drake Maye definitely wanted back, and that was a critical interception. But I really think you got to get more out of the Bucs pass rush as well. Like with all the exotic blitzes, like they need to get home. They only had 1 sack for 1 yard. And like you said, Chris, Drake Maye really diagnosed those well, especially for a younger quarterback. You just need to get more out of that. You need to get, if they had another rusher, I know Hassan Reddick has been banged up this year. Yaya Diaby's been inconsistent at times, but I think they just need to evolve a little bit, get more pressure, and that'll really help them out a lot. The run game was especially disappointing yesterday.
They don't have a traditional number one. Like, their number one to me is Vita Vea in pass rush right now, and Diaby's a good number 2, like power player, the whole thing. They miss Hassan Reddick. They miss Cansey a lot, but that's ancient history. And to your point, Bo, like, they do sell out to stop the run. That gives you end up in situations where somebody hits a fucking home run. And so, and you know this, guys, if we were in a room and we were the Bucs players, you're going to come in this morning and say, if you're Todd Bowles, like, and I don't know how he grades film on a Monday, but I would say, guys, we're not that far off. Like, 250 yards we gave up on 4 plays. Like, and I know fans can't think of it that way because they're not in a building where we talk about it in those terms, but 183 yards on 54 plays, 250 yards on 4 plays. If we can, and I know it's a big if because they gave a big run in Detroit, they've given up big plays like early in the Atlanta game. There was the big Bijan touchdown. They've given up explosives. But if we can just eliminate these couple things, like, it really to me is the offense being inconsistent, not being able to convert on 3rd down. And just not being able to beat man coverage in some situations, man. Like, and the one thing they can learn from New England is take the fucking profit. Find a way to work the underneath. A 7-yard pickup on like a Hank concept on 1st down is a fucking really successful play. And Josh McDaniels has done a great job of scheming up easy answers for Drake early in downs and early on in drives and early in sets of downs.
If you're the Bucs, if you're a Bucs fan, you don't want to think of, oh, hey, we lost to the Lions 2 weeks ago. We could spiral. We've got the Bills and then the Rams.
Yeah.
Their final 6 games, they'll go Cardinals, Saints, Falcons, Panthers, Dolphins, Panthers. So
that's perfect.
They've got 2 difficult games.
They're in a
total.
Great spot. They'll hit the win total.
But also, like,
they're in a great spot.
And they'll be able to, like they just showed with the Patriots, they'll be able to battle with some of these top teams like the Bills who are trying to figure things out.
Whew.
The Rams also, obviously they're on a freaking heater. But you've got 6 games there at the end of the season that, not all games, you can't just look at it and call it a win in the NFL, but that sets you up to hopefully go on a run in the playoffs.
This is where my mind goes with that, Cowboy. You said it before, Chris. Like, the way you play at the end of the season is the most important thing, especially if you're a team that's a division leader right now. And those 6 games, like, of course, they're not all fucking gimmies. Okay, I think the Panthers are interesting, but like the Bucs are going to be getting healthier throughout the course of the year. And if you can kind of end the season on a high note against some of these division teams like Carolina, Atlanta, and I mean Miami, who the fuck knows what Miami team is going to show up on any given day. But like, if you can play your best football, your healthiest football at the end of the year, like, you're really setting yourself up from a confidence standpoint to go into the playoffs. And it looks like the Bucs are going to win the NFC South. So that's kind of where I think we all think they're headed. I think that's kind of a good situation for them.
They have an ace in the hole, and that is if they can get everybody healthy outside, which is a big fucking if. It seems like the last couple of years has just been like, hey, whenever Chris Godwin's up, whenever Mike Evans is up. But if they are all up, look in the NFC and tell me who's got 3 guys that can really cover. Like it, and I mean that like respectfully. But Detroit's got a lot of injuries. Maybe they get some guys back, but that's not necessarily the strong suit of their defense. The Packers have questionable corners outside. Go down the list. Like the Eagles, they're trying to stick the landing on post-trade deadline.
The Seahawks, I think,
somewhere.
Be the only one.
Seahawks are the team, but they also found a way. That was the best game they played all year offensively. They went to Seattle, which is hard to figure right now, and put up 38 points on them. So you look around the NFC, you feel like you match up pretty well.
Maybe that's why the Rams added McCreary with that,
No question.
With that exact thought in mind.
No question.
So,
with the we were talking earlier about the Patriots and their cohesion, and this was pretty funny. Why, coming out of the tunnel after this game, you had old Mike Vrabel congratulating the players, the Patriots, on winning the NFC South.
Love that.
That's awesome. Yo, Spillane's fucking huge, by the way.
It is.
Spillane's huge. Vrabel's a really big guy.
Yeah.
Chris and I were talking about this last night. Did you guys know Spillane has this like eyes closed training regimen? It's like, I was reading this article.
Kind of a wild thing.
There's a great piece by the guy's name's Chad Graff with The Athletic, but he has this like unorthodox eyes closed training thing where he'll do like spot drops with his eyes closed. He says it helps with spatial awareness, but off the field he'll hike mountains with his eyes closed, or he'll like walk up mountains backwards with a blindfold on.
How is the view from the top?
Like pretty wild. He does like all kinds of like unorthodox stuff.
That's some meathead shit.
No, it's pretty cool. It's some
love
smart meathead
They're like
shit.
biohacking.
Biohacking. Like when the meat, you got to watch out when the
Neuroscience.
meatheads get into like the science.
Yeah.
He was quoted as saying, "Oh, there are many layers to this program I've developed over the years. Program layers, self-development. Yeah, that's one of the many unorthodox things that I do that has helped me to get to where I'm at."
At one point, the article
Get him up on
references,
Kelly, Chris. 10 year
Oh yeah, we
anniversary.
should get him on Kelly, and he's got to close his eyes.
Yeah. He's got to close his eyes the whole time.
He said he's tried some self-hypnosis, which I
don't know how you
can't
do
believe
that.
wasn't a follow-up question.
I don't know how
Hopefully
you do
that's
that.
the second piece.
That's a good question.
article.
Hey,
But-
Noel, if it was Russ, how would we receive this news? If
Yeah.
Russell Wilson was training with his eyes closed.
Yeah, eyes roll. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Russ is just doing high knees on the airplane, eyes closed.
Yeah. You can get away
Hey,
with a lot
can
more
I
as a
say-
linebacker.
Can I say something else about this Bucks Patriots game? I don't know what it was. Like, I feel like I hadn't listened to a Tony Romo game in a while, but he was fucking killing me, man. Like, there was a segment. He said something that made me so angry. I literally tweeted at him. Just me.
You added him?
I'm sure. it's
Did you
fine.
add him?
I added him.
Oh, at least you're
Yeah,
not a
you
coward.
want me to
That's
read the
good stuff.
tweet?
Yeah, read the tweet.
Let me read the tweet. It was some of my finest work on X.com.
I'm sure. And Bo is a known liker of his own tweets too.
Oh, I've never missed a single tweet. I said, at Tony Romo, DTF does not stand for details, toughness, and finish, just FYI. He's like, the Patriots are a DTF team.
They're down to fuck.
And I'm like, what? And then he like followed up. He's like, they got the details, they got the toughness, and they got the finish. And I was like, oh my God. And then later, he gave his wife like a 45-second shout out on the broadcast. And it just really
It
rubbed me
was
the wrong way.
wild.
I was like, what did you do? How bad? How why are you in the doghouse so bad that you got to say, I love you, honey? Like, what did you do?
Fly
I
on the
wanna
wall.
know.
He made that DTF
That's my fly
joke.
on the wall.
Yeah, the DTF
He made the
joke.
DTF joke
Yeah.
because she probably
Before-
texted him.
Before the game, he was like, "Look, Jim, I've got to do something. It's gonna be weird.
Yeah.
Gotta shout out my wife.
You just
Yeah.
Gotta roll with
You gotta
it."
Felt kinda
roll with
awkward
me.
with it too. I was like, what? He's like, I love you, honey.
If he would just
Believe
lock
a
in, he
fucking
could be
Falcons
Chris
football.
Collinsworth. You know, he's got a little Chris Collinsworth
we were
in his
talking
game.
about the fall off.
He said Drake May can't throw in the rain. That's what he
Yeah.
said. And he had us searching his hand size. We were
Yeah.
like, yeah, you know what? Like maybe he's got a picket palm or something.
9 1/8. You know.
Yeah, no. And then he came back and ripped like a bunch of balls.
Yeah,
So.
it was fun.
Yeah.
Okay, time to talk about the Golden Boy. The Golden Boy played terrible yesterday.
The Golden Boy being BetMGM though, who did
Oh,
play wonderfully.
Oh, BetMGM.
The
Yeah.
Bet-
Well,
the Golden
is the
Boy-
public taking a beating?
Always does.
Always does.
Is the public taking a beating? Okay, welcome to the Green Light Podcast presented by BetMGM. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code GREENLIGHT and you'll get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Just download the BetMGM app and sign up using bonus code GREENLIGHT. Deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game. If that bet loses, you will receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets when using bonus code GREENLIGHT at sign up. Then get access to second chance promos, odds boost tokens, same game parlays, BetMGM original bets, and so much more. BetMGM, make it legendary. Here's the deal. I want to give Miami some credit first off because I thought they did a great job running the football. Generally, the looks that they give you with Achane, like the window dressing with Knight in the backfield, the way they use Achane, he's drawing eyes like Dua Lipa out there. Like he is the hot thing down there. And when you're preparing for a game against the Miami Dolphins, you're like, man, where is that football player? And second level defenders are on a string when he moves a certain way. So I think like Mike McDaniel, I don't know if he's in audition mode, but like this team's starting to play well again. I thought Anthony Weaver was great. They said in this game, we're not going to let you run the football. You're going to have to run into 16 heavy boxes. The first time these teams played, ran into 8 heavy boxes. So I thought like the coaching staff did a great job. But let's get to the Bills because that's what killed everybody's teaser yesterday. And it's such a letdown after a game like last week. And Kansas City's not the barometer in the NFL. It's Buffalo's barometer because they haven't been able to beat them. So you're kind of like, hey, if we get there, can we beat Kansas City? The truth is, looking at this year, like you could beat Kansas City and still lose the next game. And the defense looked bad at times. I thought Hairston got routed a couple times by Waddle. Dumpster fire inside. I think that's the big key is like there's a 5-alarm dumpster fire inside on that Bills defense. And the backers aren't great, but they're dudes riding public transportation on this defense. Like Phillips really struggled. I don't want to single anybody out, but he really struggled. And it was hot down there. You could just see guys melting. They lose Landon Jackson.
Yep.
He's MCL, PCL. The hits keep coming. You lose that Oliver last week. You were without Epinesa. But after Tua threw his second pick, the one in the second half, it's fucking 16-6. This loss is on the fucking offense. It's not on the defense. People are going to say, hey, what happened to defense? They looked good last week. Well, Kansas City can't run the ball. It's always going to be an issue against teams that can run the football. You have to find a way to score the football. You have to find a way to play complementary football, and I thought the offense let the team down. 5 3-and-outs to start the game. Not good enough Joe Brady, not good enough Josh Allen. James Cook had 53 rushing yards. I talked about the heavy boxes. Allen had all day, okay? And in a lot of situations, there were not options, okay? And it was an ugly deal when the Dolphins held their breath and decided to man this group up. The Dolphins are terrible in the secondary. And I think that speaks to the weapons outside that we know that Buffalo does or doesn't have. But I still think there were opportunities that they missed, and turnovers were it, man. 3 turnovers in plus territory, 2 of them on explosive runs. James Cook, Josh Allen on an 18-yard sneak. The pick in the end zone capped off a 9-minute drive out of the half. It's just not fucking good enough. Do I think the Bills' offense is broken? No. Do I think Joe Brady has not looked his best this year? I do not think he's looked his best. They're second in the league in total offense, I think. They're like, so, is this a pattern? No, but they get in these games where they just look off kilter. And when you take the run game away with the guys they have outside and you dare them to beat you, Josh has to play hero ball. I think early in this game when you watch him, he was in that mode where he was dissatisfied taking the check down. It's like a kid that was playing video games, is all stimulated and can't sit still. Last week was so stimulating. You want to go for the jugular, take the profit. They're going to play cover 3, work the flats. They put a lot of cover 3. He just did not take the profit. And losing Kincaid in this game, that's their whole offense. And it was later, but it's their whole offense. He was frustrated. He was talking shit to Dotson at the half. I've never seen Josh look so like somebody was getting under his skin. This was a terrible fucking game from the Bills, and they walked into a hornet's nest, and they weren't ready to play. So they need to get their shit together. I mean, that's the bottom line, is that offense needs to get their shit together.
What are the issues that they're circling on the whiteboard today when they come into the facility? What are they on that offense? What are they saying? This is what we need to fix going into the next game.
I think first and second down passing. I think, especially when you're getting loaded boxes and people are taking the run game away, taking the profit, getting guys on the field. How are we using Khalil Shakir? Because in this game, I'm looking at Khalil Shakir on some of the plays, and I'm like, dude, he's your best guy, and you've got him on like a rookie, and you can't find a way to get him open. He's your guy outside. Otherwise, you got like Shavers and just guys that aren't supposed to be playing.
Right.
So would it help to get Josh Palmer back? Absolutely. And was it nice to see Keon Coleman win a 50-50 ball? Yeah, it's great. But it's a totally fucked up game script when you start with a bunch of 3-and-outs. Early downs, man. What are you going to do when we decide to go on that drive that we went on in the third quarter, early in the game, take the profit? Just terribly disappointing day for the Bills offense.
Is it something that you look at it and you're like, they really should have made a move for a Jalen Waddle that was reported, or another?
No, if there was a move to be made, to me, it's still on defense, because it's easy to overreact in this game and say, well, they suck offensively. They don't. They're one of the best offensive teams.
They can make it there
with
the pieces they have.
They think, and I think for good reason, that when it comes to the playoffs, like, we can win games with the offense we have, because it starts with the run game. Not every team is willing to sell out like that, and they did, and it worked. Having said that, I think the one place, and I mentioned this last week, I think maybe Brandon Beam felt pretty good about where he was after the Kansas City game, but you got to beat the other teams too. And I do think they match up well against Kansas City, but it kind of felt like coming out of this game, I feel a lot worse about the matchup with Indy. Indy had Sauce Gardner. If you win that game, you're winning on the strength of the quarterback being better. And that's the problem with the Bills. It's one of the most uneven roster constructions in the league, where it's just like you let areas of your defense atrophy. You've had injuries. Do I think Josh is the tits? Yeah, I think he's fucking awesome. But he played terrible yesterday, and the team is not good enough to overcome him playing an average game.
Yeah, and I think for the Bills, that passing game, when it's not looking good, the problems they're facing are actually kind of similar to the Bucs in terms of like the guys you're missing in the lineup at that point. Atlanta was a similar game to this one, with at different points you were without Kincaid and Palmer. These are the guys you've built that passing game around, and especially with Kincaid and Palmer, like to your point about Shakir, Chris, like he's a piece that fits into that puzzle with those guys in the game. So it's just when you have those guys out of the lineup, if you built the passing game for, the whole thing gets a little disjointed.
He's not a number one.
Right.
Your number one is your tight end. So, no excuses. They played like shit.
Right.
And I didn't see them losing this game. I thought it'd be a dogfight, but I didn't see them losing this game. Yeah, and it ended up being a fucking 60-minute.
You think that's a worse loss than the Falcons loss, Chris?
Yes, because of where you plan on going, what your aspirations are, what you did last week. We said this coming in the game. What do I want to see out of the Bills game? I want to see them look like the same team they looked like last week, which they have not been consistent. And shocker, they kind of lay an egg. 30-13 egg, not in the works. That's not what I had on my bingo card. But a loss, when you play like that, it can certainly be that. But 16-6 in the fourth quarter, I don't want to blame the defense. and then you give up a couple long runs. So
So to be a Bills fan and to lose this game and
Yeah.
to see the Pats just rolling.
I still think the second game's a toss-up. I do. I think what the Pats did was great yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. But if I'm a Bucs guy, I'm sitting there saying, hey, if we can just get these massive big play meltdowns out of the fucking script, this is a 21-16 ball game in the fourth quarter. I think, the Patriots being a benchmark now for where you are because they're a good team, like you lost to another elite team. And, I think for the Bills, like it does come down to matchups. They're a game and a half back from New England now.
Is it a game and a half or 2? Game and a half?
Is it 2 or a game and a half?
I think because they've already had their bye, it should be a game and a half. They are Patriots are 8-2, and the Bills are 6-3.
And the Patriots their schedule doesn't get a lot harder.
So the Bills they go Tampa Bay at Houston.
And remember, last year they laid a big egg against Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Big egg, lost that game.
The Patriots look pretty easy down the stretch. I mean, they got Buffalo again, obviously.
They have Buffalo
Patriots
and
have
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
It looks like the Bills are going to go on the road.
Yeah.
You know.
And someone tweeted yesterday, they were like, the AFC Wild Card being the Bills, the Ravens, and the Chiefs is going to hit so hard Wild Card weekend.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's going to be wild.
It's crazy how quick that
Wild
flipped.
Card weekend's awesome. Anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll be sick.
This
Yeah.
became less of a quarterback league this year.
Mm-hmm.
It did. Like it's very interesting. But like when you think about like the best teams in the league, not all of them are your traditional Mount Rushmore quarterbacks. Like Lamar, they've had their problems in Baltimore. The Bills have had their problems, and the Chiefs obviously they're on the cusp of not getting in. Right, facts. So right there battling with your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, they are. They're scratching and clawing.
So this year is more about like roster construction and coaching and that sort of thing. I mean, look at the job that Mike's doing in New England. Look at the job that Shane's doing in Indy. And when you look out west, they turned Sam Darnold into, whether you think he had this in his body or not, like he's an MVP candidate. And that Seattle team looks like a fucking wagon because they built it around defense. And, they hire a good offensive coordinator. They're well coached. And LA, that's kind of the quarterback coach pairing. That's the scary team, like not the scary team, but when you look at it, they have the Hall of Fame talent coach. They have the Hall of Fame talent quarterback. All the other teams with Hall of Fame quarterbacks have kind of taken a step back from a team standpoint.
I think they're scary as hell in the playoffs. The Rams, to me, would be a frightening playoff matchup for just about anybody.
Absolutely, dude. Scary.
Machine.
Baltimore, Minnesota. Bo, you want to give your take while I take a leak, and then I'll be back to give you what I think about the game.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Might need to call you
Make it
guys
about
in on
45
this
seconds
a little
long.
bit. That's what she said.
Never.
I had this up while I was watching the Bucs game. If you watch the Thursday preview show, I was pretty high on the Vikings for this. I just want them to figure it out. I think the biggest thing for me for the Vikings offensively is like you see a lot of frustration with Justin Jefferson. I think I got to look it up here. I got it somewhere, but I think between him and Addison, there were 23 targets and 7 receptions or something like that. And you see him stumble and fall on a deep ball shot that McCarthy took, ended up being a pick. It just feels like the offense for the Vikings is pretty out of rhythm. I don't think J.J. McCarthy played his best game. I was a little frustrated with him at the end of the game too. It's like felt like he had a chance to pick up that first down with his feet, and I think he's really athletic out of the pocket. And he ended up buying I felt like a 15-second rep.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think defensively, I was expecting a little bit more out of the Vikes too. They're getting healthier, like I mentioned last week. I think Andrew Van Ginkel is an incredible player. He went to Wisconsin, so I'm a little bit biased. But getting guys like Blake Cashman back, and they've got a good defense under B-Flow, and I've always been a fan of that scheme. Thought that would be a really fun matchup with the Ravens. But for the Ravens, you just feel like they're getting kind of rounding into their true form at the right time. And when I was talking about the standings in the AFC North earlier, they're 4-5. They're in second place, but it just seems like they're a lock to absolutely get it, completely turn that around. Their defense has been a big part of it. Their defense since the bye week, only 3 touchdowns allowed, 10 forced turnovers, including turnovers on downs, 67.5 average opposing passer rating, 21 QB hits, and 13.5 points per game. I mean, that kind of feels like the AFC North Ravens defense of the past that we've grown so accustomed to. A big part of that is, Kyle Hamilton, who we've talked about. What a chess piece for them defensively, moving him around, getting him up on the line of scrimmage, and just kind of creating chaos with a premier athlete in the NFL. A couple other things I noticed from this game, just initially, straight off the dome. I kind of like the way they use Lamar Jackson in the run game. I feel like he's it feels like he's kind of rounding into like his late season form, I guess. There was a cool play where Derrick Henry was lead blocking for him at a pivotal moment later in that game, which was kind of fun to see. Like Derrick Henry fucking lead blocking. It's like he's such a load.
Was that the pitch play?
Any sort of situation.
Was that the pitch play to Lamar? That was wild.
Yeah, they pitched it to Lamar. Pretty cool creativity, but I gotta look at
dude. I don't know what you just said, but I'll just say this: this was the one I felt good about this week. Was Baltimore getting the win there, and the reason it made sense to me was like, hey, and we've seen this. Minnesota, not a great run front. They've had their moments, but like, if Baltimore could get a lead in this game, they wouldn't look back. It got dicey at the end of the game, but I thought the game was won and lost around the half. And talk about the middle eight again in this game. I think the Vikings got the ball under a minute to go, and they punted it under a minute to go and gave it back to Lamar, and they kick a field goal, and then you come out of the half and you fumble a kickoff return. You get the ball, you go 3rd and 1 midfield, right? Like, and at this point in a low-scoring game, like, possessions are important. I know you're trying to flip the field, but you're already at midfield, 3rd and 1, and drop back to pass and throw an interception. And I thought Todd Monken did a great job in the second half. I don't know if you mentioned that, but like, to me, the play design in the second half, the answers for the blitz, the quick little pop out to Zay Flowers, out on the perimeter, the QB toss, which you guys were talking about, like, to me, really creative stuff. The late leak out to the tight end, like, they just did a good job of taking what they were given. And we said this coming in the game, like, Baltimore should be aggressive, try to get the lead. Well, it didn't work out that way early, but what they did is late they took the profit and they just played a good, clean game. Lamar didn't have to do anything spectacular. I know you said he's rounding into form, and I agree with you. The one thing I still notice with him is, like, I love somebody who works for, like, Next Gen Stats to, like, tell me how fast he's running this year compared to years in the past. I still think he looks a little bit like, I don't know, hobbled or whatever it was. I said this earlier this year, and I said, has Lamar lost a step physically? And that's not to say he's not going to get it back, but when I say that, and I should use the right terms, is he dinged? He ended up being dinged. Is he still not opening it up like 100%? Like, when
look at all the other rushing quarterbacks, like quarterbacks that have really their offense has had to rely on their feet.
Yeah,
Jaden Daniels, Jackson Dart, even, and these are younger players. You know what I mean? Like, it eventually takes a pretty big toll on you, man. And I think maybe that's what you're.
And he's never been a guy that takes big hits, but what he is, he's what? How old now? 28, 29,
Yeah, late
29.
Yeah, and like, I don't know what it's like to run a 4.3, but like, I assume at some point it turns into a 4.5. And that's still fucking pretty fast, but sometimes it's like, and I will say, speaking of fast guys, more Keaton Mitchell. To me, that's one of the biggest mishaps. You look at this Baltimore offense and this team is like, why was he not playing more early in the season? He gave them a real shot in the arm in some situations yesterday.
He had 4 for 31 with a long of 22. He's got 12 carries for 85 yards over the last 3 weeks.
And you talk about the defense, okay? Justin Jefferson yesterday, like 37 yards or whatever it was, he's frustrated. He's caught the ball from a million guys in his illustrious career after Kirk Cousins has been like a shit show. But I do think JJ is going to be okay. But at the same time, right now, it's like, you see the guys they got on him. It ain't like they're always doubling him. I'm seeing Awuzie make plays. I saw Gilman make a play on the ball at the goal line. Like, the guys in the secondary are doing a good job, and it is frustrating for that group. Like, sure, Naylor going off's great, but like, we really, the offense runs through JJ, and there's certain areas of the field that you can't access the same way that you could with Kirk. JJ's not there yet, and so it's frustrating for them. And the other frustrating thing is, we talked about Aaron Rodgers earlier and all the preseason decisions. One big one is, like, Minnesota seemingly saying, hey, we're good on Sam Darnold and we're good on Rodgers and we're going to go with JJ. And so you're kind of – I think Rodgers would be a better quarterback this year. So, like, you know, and I love Minnesota and I love that program and I love KOC, and I don't think JJ's a bad player. I think he's going to be a good player for them. But, like, at this stage in Rodgers' career, like, Rodgers is a better thrower of the football.
Why are you guys disrespecting him? His name is 9.
9.
Like,
Nine.
The wolf.
Like, show some respect a little bit.
9 times.
I like I don't want to say I like 9. I like JJ McCarthy. His teammates like him. He's just not there yet, and it's okay. It's okay.
There are some games where you can just peek at the box score and get a feel for probably how the game went, and seeing 40-plus attempts from McCarthy, seeing he's the team's leading rusher, that's not a winning formula
and
for
8
them.
false starts. How does that happen at home?
Yeah.
You know, so this has been they're off kilter. They're unsettled. It's just not a Minnesota team that you're used to seeing, even with some stability at quarterback. So
Crazy stat. Your boy Derrick Henry, he finally, after 10 years in the league, he surpassed his high school yardage mark.
that's crazy.
That is absolutely nuts.
There are people with PTSD that played in his
it's like
in his district in high school.
Bro, in 4 years of high school, he had 12,124 yards.
If you played Derrick Henry in high school, please call into the show.
Seriously.
Please call on the show.
We want the
How many
war
games
stories.
you even played like tops in high school? 13 in a season?
I do.
Like,
Yeah, it's
bro, like, what are you doing?
He there's a famous story of him. Nick Saban was telling this, but he was like, when he got to Alabama, we were trying to teach him how to pass block, and I was getting mad at him, and all the coaches were getting mad at him, and finally he came over. He's like, Coach, I'm sorry, man. Like, I don't know how to do any of this shit. In high school, they just gave me the ball and pointed me to the end zone. I don't know how to pass block.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, I understand. Let's get you figured out.
That's great, man.
That's hilarious.
If you played Derrick Henry, though, please call.
Hey, someone in the chat, Ricky Giustiano.
He played him?
Played Derrick Henry back at Yulee.
Dude, I've seen Ricky Giustiano for many moons in this chat.
Yeah.
And Ricky,
Well,
so will you
I
call
asked him
into
for more
the line real quick and tell us, like, if you're telling the truth, call into the line. What's that number? I want to remind people of the number. Pull the number out. And if anybody else wants to leave, we're probably not going to check messages at this point in the show.
We can check it, especially.
No, it's funny you bring this up. I actually saw there is a kid who is a high school football player. He's like some white kid at some small school who is just about to beat or just beat Derrick Henry's rushing records from high school.
And the number,
Pretty nuts.
He must be playing in a really shitty. Where's he playing? Like
Exactly.
Wyoming?
Yeah.
Indiana.
It's got to be
Yeah,
like
he's
North
playing-
Dakota,
he's-
Indiana.
Yeah.
and hey, call in. Ricky, 202-991-0723.
Yeah,
Give us a
Ricky,
ring.
call us. Tell us what it was like. That had to be
Ricky got
crazy.
drugged. I'll message you personally, Ricky, and give you Chris's private number.
Don't do that.
You can do it. You can do it that way.
I probably won't text you back anyways. I kind of use that thing like it's optional.
The last thing on this game,
Text
isn't it-
messages should be optional, bro.
Yes.
Like, all right, do I have to answer every time? You know,
right?
Go ahead.
The last thing on this game is, isn't it wild to think that the Ravens were 1-5, and then they're going to clinch the division by December?
Yeah, no. It speaks to the perfect alignment of events. You know,
Incredible.
that the Bengals have let their defense atrophy so badly, and the quarterback gets hurt, and Pittsburgh's just anemic, dude. They're an anemic football team. So
The
Purgatory.
Ravens next 6 games: at Cleveland, at home against New York Jets, at home against the Bengals, at home against the Steelers, at Cincinnati.
yeah,
Nice little run there.
they're going on
claim
a
the
run
division.
now. I don't know where that run's going to lead them because I still think they have some the personnel defensively is just kind of like, outside of Kyle Hamilton. I know Wiggins is a beast, and yeah, Humphrey has fallen off a cliff this year. I mean, like he's become Waldo.
You got to think they're going to win the North, though, right, Chris?
I do think they're going to win the North. I do. Short of Joe Burrow coming back tomorrow and the defense getting like 5 points per game better, like, no, they're winning the fucking division, which is why I'm kicking myself. Like, everybody knew that ticket was like at some point it was probably like 2-1 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and now it's probably even money or
Yeah.
they're Burrow's slated for week 13. Couple weeks. That's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. It's also makes you wonder if he should play.
Right.
You know,
Or
you're
like-
just like, do you really want to come back to this?
Or maybe this is motivation. Maybe this is motivation to try to get the team going in the right direction. If you give them a little spark, like, hey guys, if we win the next 2 weeks, you know, like our shiny quarterback is going to get back in here, and things might change for the last couple of games of the season. And then it's like, son,
You know, you're on a
He's
bad
not
team,
ready.
The coaches will be in the meetings. They'll be like, the reinforcements are not coming. This is our team. Like, this is what we have.
no light.
You're like in that Bengals locker and you're like, hold on a second. Wait a minute, player.
Hold on a minute,
Hold on,
player.
yeah,
Let me get to my
yeah.
damn.
And there's, I mean, it's a cash poor franchise too. They need asses and seats, you know.
Yep.
That is very true.
So
That is very
you got to
true.
sell hope.
All right.
People to stop sending in refund requests for the last couple of
Exactly.
games of the season.
I don't blame him, honestly. And obviously the losses along the way, the close losses to inferior teams that you thought were just like, all right, well, it'd be nice to win them, but like if you'd have known, the public had known that Joe was coming back at some point, those would have seemed like a lot bigger games, like Jets and Bears. Okay, we're on to the 4 p.m.s, which was a bloodbath.
The NFC bloodbath.
Yeah, the NFC West. These two teams are. Honestly, at this point, I would put them as the class of the NFC. I think the Eagles tonight have something to say about that, right? Like we'll see how they play tonight. But these two fucking football teams are really good, and you know, like it's funny because I threw a little bit on the under in this Seattle game, and as soon as they cut to the field shot. And Kevin Harlan's voice came on. I was like, this is going over. And it's going to be crazy. Shockingly, Kevin Harlan games are only 4-4, or now 5-4 to the over.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like every time he gets in there, it's going to be a wacky game. And it was like Seattle's been up 28-0 in 2 straight games in NFL football games. That's fucking really rare. This is the second time they've done this to somebody at home this year, I think at least. Where, remember the New Orleans game, they jumped them real bad. They're scoring on special teams, on defense. Same thing here. When this place was rocking, when they called it the Link, when I played for the Rams, you could be me to Nate and trying to talk to each other, and you can't hear each other. And, you know, at this point in the first half yesterday, looking at, like, the film, you know, the All-22, when you look at the TV copy, that shot's always steady, but sometimes you look at the All-22 and the camera shakes.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some camera shaking going on. That place got loud, and you talk about, like, right off the top. And this is kind of fun to, like, compare the old teams to this team. There are some similarities. When we used to go down there, they'd hit a shot, right? And the place would go nuts. You'd be like a shot to, you know, like, I don't know, like Golden Tate or something. And they hit that shot to JSN off the bat, and it kind of lit the fuse. And then they run 2 pressures, and it yields 14 points for them. The first one, they run Eamon at the back, and then, you know, the backer kind of trails and comes off and makes the play. Pops right into DeMarcus Lawrence's hands. The second one, they run a TE with the backer, and it ends up being the same fucking play. It's a different way to get there. It just felt like Seattle's day. And, honestly, in this game, you take away the 2 defensive touchdowns and the bomb. And Arizona, they could have made it a game in the third quarter. But Seattle's too good, man. They're just too fucking good. They have very few holes on their team. And, you know, you said this yesterday looking at 42, the backer.
Drake Thomas. You're like, man, he's played pretty well. I go, everybody has played well in this defense. Like, everybody on the field for them has played well. And the scary thing about this group is Eamon had a high ankle early in the year. Witherspoon was hurt for a long time. They're just going to get better. Mm-hmm.
And Shaheed joins the offense. They got him the ball in orbit sweep. They got him the ball on a screen. They put him in the backfield. I told you they put him in the backfield. They threw him a toss out of like I formation. He's running clear out routes for JSN. They're only going to get better. Defense is good, man. There was one play where Eamon is coming off the edge next to Lawrence, and Lawrence has to cross face. It's an edge pressure. Eamon is the same fucking size as Tank Lawrence, like on all 22. Dude.
Yeah,
It's nuts.
he's huge.
This group's a lot of fun. What's up with Sundell? That's the big question for their offense, but I think they're going to be okay no matter what. Anybody else see the game?
Yeah, I watched it, dude. That ball to JSN was so nice from Darnold. Like you said it.
53
what a way
yards.
to start the game, man. It was so nice. And Darnold had what? I gotta look at it. He had 12 passing attempts. Not a bad day at the office for Sammy D. 10 for 12, 178 yards, touchdown, 1 pick. I mean, dude, the Seahawks are really good, Chris. I wish you maybe would have realized that earlier. I feel like you're kind of like a bandwagon fan with the Hawks.
Oh, you're being funny.
Some of us have thought that they'd be good and win the NFC West. For
That's
a while.
funny. That's hilarious.
Put some respect on their name.
That's hilarious. I just want you to raise your hand if you picked them to win the West. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. And now you're trying to flip the whole table on me, bro. Like, this is crazy. It's my favorite team. I've been listening to this band first. I was listening to their old stuff.
Yeah. I discovered
this band.
Yeah, I knew him before everybody else. But it's a fucking fun team to watch, man.
They're fun teams to watch, and like I think with this team, it's so interesting in terms of the conversation around the team. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like everybody appreciates them as a capital C contender, and I don't know why is that. Like, why do you guys think that?
I think it's the same. It's Sam Darnold. It's the market.
Yeah.
And honestly, I just think they've aced everything. Every decision they've made. We talked about the DK decision, the Sam decision, the Kubiak decision. Like, they've made last year bringing in Ernest Jones. John Schneider is a fucking beast, dude.
Dealing.
He's just bringing in Tank. Like the way they've drafted. Nobody was paying attention. It was like the problem with this team is there's no build-up. Yeah. Last year, they're a frustrating team, can't run the ball, can't protect, and their defense it gets better as the year goes on, so people don't have time to digest what they're doing defensively. And then all of a sudden, the missing piece comes in, the coordinator and the quarterback.
Yep.
And then they slide Shaheed in. It kind of feels like they can't miss.
Right.
You know what Arizona should do?
What?
They should take Trevor Lawrence and give Jacksonville Jaguars Kyler Murray.
1-for-1?
I think just a 1-for-1, a new start for both guys. Get Kyler over there in Jacksonville with Liam Cohen. And
you're ready to ship him off? Man. We'll save it. Save it for this is a big moment. This is a big moment. We got to get it.
You want Kyler.
But we don't need to say too much about it. I mean, the big deal is
they're moving on from
Trevor.
No, I think they're moving on from Kyler.
Oh, yeah, they need to.
They have to.
They need to. And honestly, like Arizona right now, you talk about them being cagey and fun, but like that is a fucking big league football team. And to play them close, and I think they could have, you can't give up 14 points on offense. You can't give up a 50-yard bomb. It's just like in the first half of that game, that's the place you don't want to do that.
Our franchise is in a bad spot right now, right?
Who?
A little bit.
Who?
Cardinals, you think? Or no? Like, because, like, what do you do? Like,
they've ever been in a good spot. I mean, they were in a good spot when they went to the Super Bowl.
So even if, like, this year, like, whatever.
I know.
Like, what do you
Palmer, I got it.
But, like, what do you do? Like, are you keeping you keep Brissett, but then, what, you try to draft the next quarterback that's going to beat him out?
You draft him if somebody's crazy enough to pick up part of Kyler Murray's contract and like actually take him, then you send him away. But like you look for the replacement. And I don't even look at firing Jonathan Gannon.
No.
I want to see you know how we do this with quarterbacks and people love doing it, like with JJ McCarthy, and they're right. It's his rookie year. It's basically his rookie year. It's basically Jonathan Gannon's rookie season, dude. Mm-hmm. You can't. The Kyler thing is just the offense is all right. But the Rams offense.
Before we move on,
go ahead,
Chris. When we had Mina on last week, she was talking about Leonard Williams and how he needs to be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. We need to start pushing that on the pod. So this one's for you, Mina, because he had another fucking sack, and he is so good. And you talk about how everyone's so quiet on the Seahawks at times, and yada, 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 and how good their defense is. He's a massive part of that, dude. He is playing really well. I think he has 5.5 or 6 sacks now, and
that's another
I think
one.
He needs to be in that conversation.
Since he got there, he's been dominant.
Yep.
I mean, it's like it's given him a second wind, and like he has been legitimately one of the most consistent players over the course of his career that just doesn't get enough credit. And shout out to Mina because she's right about that. He should be in the conversation.
How about the Seahawks run game? We've talked about how
It was better yesterday.
It was better yesterday, but we've talked about how they deploy these guys and how it's weird, kind of the carries and how it matches up. Is this a run game that you can see, that you can see them lean on when they need to?
Well, I think one of the things, and we actually talked about it with Mina, is like the addition of Shaheed, the speed on the field might force people into less aggressive looks in the secondary. That you lighter boxes, that sort of thing. And so like early on they've had to heavy up to pass, right? Like not have to, but like they like doing that and taking their big play action shots and that sort of thing. And now, like if you can get people light and you can get people, in too high shells and that sort of thing, you can hopefully run the ball at them. And so we'll see what the Shaheed deployment looks like over the next couple weeks. And
I don't think yesterday was a true indication of their run game yet, because they were up 28-0 with 15 minutes on the clock in the second quarter.
That's a bad deal.
And they ran the ball 46 times. They're in 4-minute offense for 3 quarters straight. But that Charbonnet touchdown was sick.
I've been on a lot of teams that have been down like 28-0, and it's hard. It is hard. You really got to throw out. You're surviving.
It's just 9 on 7.
9 on 7. It's 9 on 7. Yeah. So anyways, I was also on when we were down 28-3. That's a good. I forget that sometimes. Right. I caught myself a month ago being like, I've never come back in a game like that. And
everyone's like, cap.
Didn't I say that? So where did I say it? I don't know.
You said it on the air, and everyone was like, dude, you're so full of shit. I thought you were doing a bit.
No, it wasn't a bit. I just sometimes, you forget where you've been, bro. All right. So anyways, right place, right time. But Rams game. What happened offensively? I mean, we knew it'd be 7 on 7.
Yeah.
And, but like.
Honestly, like this game, it went exactly the way we expected it to. The 49ers, they couldn't generate any pressure, and that created the conditions for an offensive masterclass from the Rams. There really wasn't anything revelatory. They've been an absolute machine the last four games. Actually, since the first time they saw the Niners, those last 4 games, they've won by a total score of 128-46. That's 36 points per game offensively, 12 points per game allowed defensively. So on average, they're winning by 3 possessions right now. Stafford, absolutely surgical, short to intermediate level. Within 20 yards of the line of scrimmage, he was 20-24, 200 yards, 3 tuds. 8 Rams saw at least 2 targets, which I think highlights both the depth of the Rams pass catching group and Stafford's ability to sit back there, look for his first read, find his second read, find his third read, and distribute the ball whoever's open. And the run game is rolling too. I mean, Kyron Williams, Blake Corum, they both average about 4.5 yards per carry. A lot of duo, a lot of inside zone, just kind of bullying the interior of the 49ers front.
And you talk about them getting a hang of throwing the Baltimore guys. Like I think that started when Devontae left. Or when Puka left the lineup.
Exactly.
Because he had so much of the target share.
It's highly concentrated, yeah.
Yeah, like it's almost like a reset where you go to London, you got to run 2-3 tight end sets, and you get guys involved. And like now, dude's got reps, and there's confidence there. So
he developed that chemistry. Yeah, for sure. And I think, look, on the other side, another good performance for Mac Jones, overall. The Niners actually made it a little interesting in the second half. They pulled within 8 at like the top of the 4th, but the 21-0 hole they dug themselves in with the Rams continuing to score throughout the game, it was just too much to overcome.
Is Mac Jones going to be somebody else's quarterback next year, and who?
It seems
I
like
think so.
Man.
No.
They're going to have to.
You think so? No,
right? He's on a 2-year deal.
It's a really interesting conversation because he is under contract with them.
We'll take him back
for another year, but a lot of teams would want to trade for him as a bridge. But if you're the Niners, you've got the perfect backup. Why would you trade him?
Yeah, especially considering you really don't know what. Whenever Brock gets back, like whether you like it or not, if he doesn't play well, people are going to talk about it.
No question.
And some people hate it when you question. But, like, Max played efficiently. I mean, they can run that. The problem with this team this year is the defense.
Yes.
The problem with this team is the defense is and that's because of injury. Nick Bosa is supposed to be your fucking the straw that serves the drink. Fred Warner the same way. You lose 2 fucking blue chip all-pro guys.
Yeah.
and not even like 1 year All-Pro guys, like perennial All-Pro guys.
Yeah.
What do you expect? And you've got young guys out on the field, like they're just not there yet defensively.
And with the way Mac's playing, like this offense is 6th in success rate league wide. Like it is a really efficient operation. And they've been down Ayuk. They've missed Pearsall a bunch of games. They just got Kittle back, so he's played really well, and he again looks at home.
Brock
No,
Purdy's
I know
contract tradable. I'm just joking.
I know that organization. I know that.
It's a joke.
I know you got to be pissed about the whole Ayuk situation. Just how that.
It's a tough deal, man.
Like how that whole thing went down.
Tough deal.
And just like fighting through.
He was right
and
to
giving
want.
in.
He was right to want the security,
Absolutely.
and everything has gone poorly since for them.
Yeah.
And then
And including the Pearsall thing, which how do you?
Bro,
your rookie wide receiver gets
shot. Like what the hell?
And then like the craziest thing I saw was somebody tweeting this year after he like hurt himself. They were like, "Is Pearsall injury prone?" Question mark. And I was like, try to avoid the
Toughness is in question for this
211. You know,
but for that defense, there's we joke about it, but bro, there's only so much Flex Seal you can use before the shit is gonna fall apart.
And I love Salah and the whole thing,
They're
but
out
like
of
it's
Flex
just
Seal.
they're just they're out of it.
They're out of it.
And then the last one was Detroit. I know, Bo, you saw this game. Dan Campbell taking over play call and talking like openly about it while still saying like, hey, Morton's got a big role here. Like it's just going to be more collaborative, and I'm going to call the plays for a little bit here. Bo, I'm interested to hear what you think, because I thought coming in, their first down success rate has been really low. Actually, it has on the season. The one thing statistically I saw more of was play action pass. More play action pass, better success on first down. It is Washington. Is it fool's gold, Bo?
Yeah, a little bit. The Commanders suck. All right, just straight up. Like, I'm sorry, they didn't get a single stop defensively until a kneel down. Okay, so let's just keep that in mind as we're thinking about this game. And I truly I want to give this game some time, but let's not look too far into it. They looked really good. Goff had 320 yards, 3 touchdowns. Obviously, Jaden Daniels is hurt for the Commanders, but it just felt like the Lions just had everything that they wanted offensively. Like they ran the ball well. They had 226 yards running. It's like it was just a fucking shit pumping, man. Like we could talk X's and O's if you want, but like this is one good football team who knows who they are and they have an identity, playing a injured bad football team who does not have an identity or their star quarterback. That's pretty much what it boils down to me. I did think the comments that Dan Campbell made about, I'm trying to think of his exact words. He's like, I know what I'm looking for offensively, and that's kind of why I took over the play calling. I thought that was pretty interesting because I'm wondering, like, it's not like the offense was that bad before this. You know what I mean?
Well,
so I kind of wondered what
Quinn
exactly
taking
prompted
over.
it.
And that's interesting because, as we just hear, Joe Witt gets demoted and Dan Campbell gets promoted in this game and runs Joe Witt out of the building, which I think sucks because I think the personnel is not great there. But, another thing is more Montgomery and more J-Mo. J-Mo had a bunch of targets, 7-8 targets, caught the ball a bunch of times. Those are things that Detroit fans probably want to see. You get a little Gibbs heavy sometimes. And I think also, like, on some of these drives where usually you'd rotate your backs, right, this year, they've been 3 and out a lot. That's something that you didn't have on your I hate to say bingo card twice in a fucking game or in a show, but like bingo. I didn't have that on my bingo card, was them being 3 and out a lot of the time. And so you don't get to like lean on people and put more, more looks, throw more looks at them, whether Montgomery or Gibbs. And so I think maybe what Campbell was looking for was more Montgomery. Maybe it's more J-Mo, but we'll see next week if he's calling the plays. Like, what do we see? Because Washington sucks. Washington just sucks. That you could hear a pin drop in that stadium most of the day. There was one moment it got kind of loud. We'll talk about that later.
And Dan Campbell's comments on taking over the play calling duties. I have a good feel for our players. I know what they're capable of. I know what we're capable of. That's the best way I can say it. The coolest thing I thought about him kind of announcing this was that at the end of this press conference, he did say, about John Morton, I need John. He's really important to me, to our process. I need him, which is a an incredible display of leadership and showing that, hey, I'm publicly saying I'm taking these things away from you, but you're still.
It also goes to show what you think.
I feel like you say that because it's like I need you to still be here to coach these guys up because that's the
guys
up during the week.
I think that's the thing that most people don't realize is like an
hard.
Offensive game plan is very collaborative. And in a building week to week, like when we, in 17, it was the Eagles, it was Reich, it was the sheriff, our quarterback coach, you don't remember our quarterback coach.
No, I don't remember at all. Who was it?
Fuck, dude. He was the JMU guy. He was a JMU guy at one point. And then it was
he went to Minnesota.
Flip.
Yeah.
Gandhi Flippo.
Yeah. So there were guys like that were involved, and and then obviously the head coach. But somebody always gets the credit, but it's very collaborative. So I'm sure while it does look like Campbell's just being a nice guy, they do need him, and he likes him as a coach. But Campbell wants to call the plays, and so we'll see how that goes.
That was my question for Nolan. Is like I feel like Nolan, you've been around buildings and you know how to sift through the bullshit with coach speak and media, what they say in the media, and that's kind of my question. Like, do you have any indication as to why Dan was so adamant about taking over the play calling and week especially?
I think big picture wise, it is kind of coming off like what Reed said. Like, it is reflective of an operation that's like everything that the Lions have done under this Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes build has been reflective of winning football. And like you said, Bo, the offense has been playing well, like playing at a level that a lot of franchises around the league wouldn't even bat an eye. They're like, everything's great. Like, we're scoring points, we're efficient and those kinds of things. But there's something that Dan saw where he was like, we're leaving money on the table. And we said, we're talking about more play action. We talk maybe a little bit more run, more Montgomery. But if we see over the course of the season them take another step, it's just reflective of a team that's saying like, yeah, we're good right now, but we could be great. And I think that's really impressive because it's not a popular decision to make.
It's also out of left field for a lot of people because they look at the guy, and I don't think a lot of people look at him like an offensive coach, but they forget that his roots are in New Orleans with Sean Payton,
right?
And and he has an offensive mind.
Yeah,
people just think of him as this kneecap biting meathead.
Yeah,
but like he's also very assertive.
That's like a doctorate degree for an offensive mind.
No
like
question.
Working under Sean Payton.
No question. And so don't let the packaging fool you. The guy's smart, right. And then also on top of it, he's assertive, which is like a lot of coaches would sit on their hands and say, "Oh, I made a bad hire," but you have the ability to take that play calling duty back, and he did. Which we'll see.
It's funny you say that, Chris. That's how Dan Campbell's perceived. Because like, okay, as a nose guard, as a white nose guard in the NFL, my ass was always on the bench on third down. So I knew I made it my mission to know all of our rush plans, all of our games, how to run games properly. So that if I ever randomly got a chance to be on like 3rd and 5, I'm like making the most out of it. And that's kind of how I feel about Dan Campbell calling plays offensively, especially like you said, he came up under Sean Payton. He probably, because he's a meathead blocking tight end, not a huge, receptions guy during the course of his playing career. I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, this motherfucker probably knows offense in and out because he probably made it his mission, just like I did, to like make sure he maximized any sort of potential he had when he was on there. But I gotta come clean a little bit. There was a pretty large portion of this game that I had muted and went away from, so I might not be the best one.
No, it's all good. We'll get into this week and get a closer look at it. The one thing I was curious about was like, why is Payne in all these punching situations? Remember, he got punched once.
He lost.
Now he punched somebody yesterday. He punched Amon-Ra St. Brown.
It's a frustrating place to play right now. That team.
It is frustrating.
Just, angry all the time.
But like, why'd you pick Amon-Ra?
I know.
I just really want to know what happened there.
Yeah,
bro, he seems like such a normal, good dude.
Bro, the media, the internet and the media.
He's not CJ.
Making it seem like he punched Amon St. Brown because he did the Trump dance after his touchdown.
No, so dude. Funny. No.
But the fact that even if you are,
I don't think a lot of those guys are politically inclined out there on that field.
No. But it's funny, too, because his teammate, when they scored, they did the same celebration. So I was like, are you going to punch your teammate in the side of the head, too?
Yeah, right.
If that was the reason why?
No, that wasn't the reason why.
Yeah. But it's just crazy. It doesn't matter how frustrated you are, for one.
I think Payne might be a conservative. conservative.
Punching anyone in the helmet with your bare hands is stupid.
Yeah, it's stupid.
We
You're
said
gonna-
it before.
break your hand.
It's stupid. It's not smart. And then just to lose money, whatever fine you get, and then now you're gonna miss a whole game. And yeah, maybe for your season you don't want to be playing, but at the same time, hey, you gotta. You can't do that.
No, you can't.
You just can't.
Suspensions, fine.
It does suck. Like Chris, you never swung any. You've been on bad teams.
Yeah, I punch people.
You have. you got suspended for a game.
I never got suspended, but I got ejected from 2.
Was it frustration from being on a bad team, or was it like?
Well, to contextualize my entire life experience is frustration from being on bad teams. So, okay, but I will say the first one was a headbutt, which I thought was ticky-tack. The guy like shoved me after the play or something, and I hit him with one of these.
Oh, helmet to helmet.
Yeah,
Like headbutt. Okay.
and they ejected me. Now we were very bad. It was the last game of the season. That was the way my season ended. And then the other one was in Carolina where they were punking Rob Quinn, like they were all ganging up on him. And so like just instinctively I went over and I punched somebody right in the helmet. and dudes were like, "Yo, if you had connected with his face, it would have exploded. Like, how's your hand, dude?"
Oh,
I was in the locker room with Les Snead alone, like ejected like a dummy, and my hand was throbbing. And I'm like, bro, like I don't want to say anything, but like, what if I fractured my knuckle? I wouldn't say shit. I would just try to play through it. But it's stupid to punch somebody in the helmet. It's stupid. but when you're angry, you're stupid.
Yeah, very true.
Everybody in the
Blind
chat
rage.
is stupid. We're stupid when we're angry.
Just seeing red.
You know, so I don't know, man. I'd like to wag my finger at him, but yeah, I breathe through my mouth sometimes. So, anyways,
More bad news for the Commanders, Trey Amos with broken fibula
Jesus,
out for the year.
Damn.
they need to just start over. New stadium and everything. No, we're not doing that.
Oh.
We're not doing that.
And before we get to the
Is this like
flyers,
Russia or something, dude? Do we live in Russia? Remember when Vladimir Putin? I always talk about this. When Putin, they let him play hockey in the pro leagues.
Oh my God.
And he's
They all got
terrible.
the way.
And they're like, yeah, great deke. And it's like you just see that nobody's trying because they don't want to get like executed.
he scored 8
Kind of feels like we're headed
Dude, the
there.
story
Yeah.
of Putin stealing Kraft's Super Bowl ring. Have you ever heard that?
Yes,
It's incredible
so great.
story.
Oh, dude,
Fucking
it's
great.
fucking wild, man. I mean, so let's get to the. Should we
Be-
get to the flyovers?
Before we get to the flyovers, Gads.
Okay,
to the Chargers.
Gadsden's day to day.
Yep.
Thank you, Adam Schefter. Thank
So
you.
some bright, better injury news than the Chargers have dealt with.
Yeah.
Day to day.
So they get a good break. All right. So now let's board the plane.
Duval.
Come on, let's hear it, guys.
And approaching runway 2 at Jacksonville International Airport.
I actually fell asleep during this game. So,
I love this.
so when I went to sleep at the end of the third quarter, we were winning. So
You should have woke up.
Oh man.
Hey, dude, you got
So it's
white
your
guy
fault.
mad at me in the chat yesterday in our group text.
Yo,
He buddied. He
I think he was
buddied
actually
me.
mad
He
at me.
buddied me. He
No,
called
I
me
buddied
buddy.
him.
Oh, you was talking to Bo?
I was talking to Bo
Oh, dude,
because
I thought you buddied me.
because it's just that like I'll take it on the chin when no homo when Jacksonville loses.
Anybody can take it on
but
the chin.
but
Nate.
it's just one of those things where like when the Bucks lose, it's always this woe is me and these different excuses, and no one wants to when we talk about it.
I
Then
don't
it,
think that's true at all.
no, yeah, you always be like, oh, I don't even like the Bucks. I don't follow them. I like that team anyway. That's always your thing. You just stick with
That's
your
my
team.
voice. That's my voice. That-
Yeah, it is.
That
That's
is
how it.
not
That's
at
how it
all.
translates.
Dude, I have been talking about the Patriots all season.
I know, but
I
that's
like
not your
the
team.
Patriots.
But you didn't pick
So the
them
difference
either.
is I don't act
That's-
like I still
that's-
play for the Bucks
that's-
and the Eagles. You act like you still play for the Jags.
No, I don't. I just like them. That's my team.
No, it's just fun. Can I be the arbiter here? Nate can be a giant troll, and he knows it, and he loves to troll people. And then yesterday, when the Jags
But he doesn't
Yeah.
take it back.
and he
you
did
know?
not take it well, and he was buddying you, and he got white guy mad. It was funny as hell. But we're not going to give it to you, dude. This isn't. You didn't lose the game yesterday. Fucking the Jags did.
No, it's
Yeah,
all
turn
good.
your
And,
anger towards the Jags.
No, it is.
Let the hate flow through you.
And I just listen and I read so much Trevor Lawrence hate and bash, and I just know from being an NFL player how hard it is to be in the locker room with a fucking pretty decent quarterback. And Trevor is just
Dude, he's got the
like
second
shit.
worst passer rating in
No,
the NFL.
he's playing like shit, and he's not that terrible. But it's like, what's the alternative, guys? Like
there is none right now, and I think we need to all be better about this. Like when we're so afraid, I'm always afraid to get clipped. Like not that I feel like I'm wrong, but like I didn't want to. Last week you guys clipped me talking about Michael Penix and wondering if he's the guy.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't want that on a social because to me it's reductive, right? Like it's a nuanced conversation, and we should be able to, as analysts, say like I just don't think that's the guy. And if you say that, then the next week if Trevor Lawrence plays it's not a victory lap for the people that says he is. It's a big sample size, and the sample size so far is telling me that Trevor Lawrence is not the guy.
Yeah.
And it's told me that for a long time. I think he does have some tantalizing ability. I think he's tough. I think he's a good dude. It's not like he's a bad guy or anything. Like, and he's not the worst quarterback I've ever seen.
No,
but
it's just bad circumstance.
But it was also a bad circumstance for him yesterday in that game. I thought the edges wrecked the game. I thought Danielle Hunter wrecked the football game.
Danielle Hunter, it felt like he had 7 sacks. It felt like he was wrecking the game single-handedly by himself, and it's just so frustrating when we have a running offense. Like I just don't understand why sometimes when games get sticky for the Jaguars, they just don't put it in their head like, "Yay, we're just gonna run the ball. We're just gonna run the ball until we can't," and just stick with that because it's just like the alternative. Trevor right now is not doing it, so you need to put the ball.
But isn't the problem the defense too? Because you let Davis Mills score 30 points on you, you blow a 2-touchdown lead, 3-touchdown lead, whatever, 3-score lead. Like in Houston, where like it's tough to score, points are at a premium. You guys find a way to score some points, but the defense, man, like to give and people in Houston are saying our offensive line looked really good yesterday. How do you make their offensive line look really good? And I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the Jags.
No, yeah, I hear you.
I just don't understand. And for Houston, good for them because I have really struggled to watch this team play. Like just because I pull for him and I pull for D'Amico, and I did like Houston. Like a lot of people, like I thought that they would take a step this year, and they've been in a lot of ball games and found ways to lose them. But at home, they're a different team. And, good news, though. Hey, you ready for some good news? Parker Washington is – and
I said
Jacoby
it last
Meyer.
year.
But,
last week. Parker, should be the focal. And like, yeah, everyone wants to shit on Trevor, but start talking about Parker Washington, how he's –
look over here at Parker Washington. He's dependable.
Right? Exactly. He's an amazing player, but he's been doing that on special teams too. And then now – like you know how it is when you're on a team. Usually the special team returner is like wide receiver 3, maybe 4 or 5. He's like that guy that you're not really like looking at. And now fast forward, injuries, whatever, he's the 1 or 2.
I have a question for the group. Could Trevor Lawrence be fixed by somebody who – and what's funny is like you looked at Tampa's pass offense last year, and one of the things they did so well was quick game. And I'm like, where is the quick game? Like, where is the decisiveness? I think, like, honestly, as tantalizing as Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter are, like, they are late in the down guys. Like, that Parker Washington to me and Jacoby Meyer and guys like that, like, Parker's going to run decisive routes
quick
that the quarterback's looking to early in the down, like whether it's like a drag or something like that or a cross, like, or a quick man beater, that type of thing, like. And he's dependable. And when you get in scramble drill, he knows what the fuck to do. I don't feel like Brian Thomas Jr. is a scramble drill guy. I don't feel like Travis Hunter is a scramble drill guy yet at this point in his career. Neither are on the field yesterday. Mm-hmm. But the point from a macro standpoint is, because we're going to have to talk about Jacksonville the rest of the year, and currently, if the season ended today, they're in the playoffs, right?
Still in there. It's crazy.
Like, we have to watch them in January, so I am invested in that product, bro. Like, they have to find a way to speed up Trevor's process and get the ball into these guys' hands, the guys that are dependable. and play better defense.
And it's
man.
just like
Jesus.
even with speeding up the process after the snap, I want the process to be sped up before the fucking snap. I'm so sick of watching them snap the ball with less than 5 to 3 seconds left on the clock, and you're not trying to kill time. And then with a game like this, when we end up losing the way we do, and it's just like, yeah, use the time management the right way. Bleed the clock throughout the whole fucking fourth quarter. Like you guys do that for no reason already. So it's just like when you should be doing it, you guys aren't doing it, and when you should be using your run game to your advantage, we're not doing it. So
yeah,
it gets frustrating. It's frustrating. I still love the Jags. We're hurt. We're banged up. Trevor is throwing to, like we said, like I wonder, like, yeah, you probably have a Parker Washington jersey, but I wonder how many playmaker jerseys people have on in the stands right now with guys who aren't even on the field. So
not on the field or not playing well. It's just tough. And
it's tough.
So I do think they got the right coach there. I want to give, like, obviously it's early in tenure. Nobody's talking about him, but I do think, like, I like the guy. I like the guy.
I think everyone does, and it's just like I said, like, I don't want it to be put all on Trevor, but it's like, Trev, like, everyone's giving you all the outs, everything, and it's like, bro, you got a new coach that everyone knows is an offensive mind. He's working with you, and every outside looking in, we all kind of know that it's not him as the problem or anyone else in there. Maybe a few guys dropping passes.
Yeah.
But collectively, you guys on the offense, everyone, you guys just have to do better.
Scheme up easier throws for him, and get the ball out of his hands. It's all you can do right now.
And I don't want to seem like a sore loser. I want to say shout out to David Mills. I mean, that's a tough game to be in and to win. Like, I love football.
He had the bigger neck.
He really put his neck on the line.
Let the man with the thickest neck win.
The neck mo bowl.
The neck
out
bowl.
at the end there.
The neck bowl, dude.
The neck mo bowl.
Oh, let me get in.
He won it. I mean, I'm happy for him, and I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy watching this game. JJ
Until
Watt,
you fell asleep.
JJ Watt, he called a good game.
JJ Watt's really good at his job.
He really
It's fun
is.
to see these former players that are doing a good job. Like, obviously Greg Olsen gets a lot of credit, and he should. And Brady's coming along, man. Like, I know some people were real down on Brady. I think he's getting a lot better, man.
I like Brady. Honestly, for me being
Bo's a known hater, and Brady's the easiest guy to hate, right?
Yeah.
You know?
I like Brady. I love him as a player, like, for real.
You like Brady? You think he's pretty good?
In the booth?
No, as a player, you think he's
take
pretty
him
good?
over Romo. I mean, he's all right. I don't think he gets talked about enough as a player.
Yeah, probably not.
But in the booth, he drives me a little fucking crazy.
I just like Tom, dude. No one's ever gonna make me dislike Tom. Tom could clone another dog, and I'd still like Tom.
Oh my god,
the dog cloning thing's crazy,
bro. Can you imagine?
I don't know if I sent this photo.
How about when you clone your dog?
Surgeries, bro.
But the dog doesn't know you. You can't clone the dog's memories of you.
Who barks during our streams?
Willie all the time.
Like,
dude.
Imagine if I just got him cloned.
What if you clone like 50 Willies, dude? I don't need to see this. What is this? A Tom Brady thirst trap? I'm good.
It was a self post. He threw it up.
But what do you think? Can you recreate that for us?
What is it? The buccal fat removal. That's what that is.
I have no idea, dude. As you can see, I haven't had
that's what they're doing out there in LA, Chris. You should try it. It'd snatch your jawline a little bit more than it already is.
Yeah.
I don't think you need it. Tom to me looks like it's like Uncanny Valley a little bit.
Can we stop?
I mean, he looks good.
Okay. Can we just get to the next thing? Chicago.
There's snow.
There's snow at the landing.
You already snow.
The X-Fax Bowl.
The team is growing up, dude. That's what's going on in Chicago. One team fired their coach because they can't grow up, and the other team's growing up before your very eyes. And Caleb, like we said, makes all these throws that you're like, damn, there's only a couple guys that can make that throw. If he just makes all the other throws, this team's going to be cooking for a while. And so, watching the way Ben Johnson addressed him after the team, like, you can kind of read into the vibe of the locker room. Like, that locker room really likes this fucking guy.
Yep.
And you talk about game-winning drives, like being down in the fourth quarter. He's building a little portfolio, little resume of situations where he's been clutch and wins with his legs, that sort of thing. Another thing, Darnell Wright, I talk about him every week. Brian Burns to me is as good as anybody in the NFL this year. That spin move, I know it's just one play, but watching him stone that good of a rusher the way he did, it was like Burns was like, I haven't felt that all season long.
See,
So,
the look he had when he was on the ground, he looked up at him. He was like, "Golly, I'm gonna feel that."
like,
for the
holy
next couple
shit.
weeks."
And Wright didn't bury him. He
No.
just was like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
just going to stand here.
Yeah,
And if you
I-
get up, I'm going to block you.
I'm gonna
again.
plug you again. Yeah.
But no, I think if you're a Bears fan, you should be excited, man. And also little things like Roma Dunze seems like a great dude. Not saying his dad's not a great dude. I think his dad's a dad, dude. He wants his guy to get the
exactly.
fucking ball. But Adunze this week was like, what he says on his social media is not my opinion. My opinion is I'm trying to win. And, last week when he didn't get the ball as much, Chicago's social media team put out a montage of him mic'd up blocking people. Dude, like, dudes on this team are buying in, and the vibes are a lot better than last year. They, if the season ended today, would be in the playoffs. And honestly, not a team that you'd be that excited about seeing, although you can get out their corners. But
hey,
this is
your
a big
boy,
huh.
CJ Gardner Johnson, 7 solos, 2 sacks.
It's good to see him making some
Hey,
plays,
man.
man. I always got a
Always-
soft spot for him.
It's always good. He's like, I guess he's like what? Would he like the Dennis Rodman of the league in a sense, like
An agitator,
yeah, if
but
you're not on
probably
his team,
not
if
the,
you're
one
not-
of the best
if you're
rebounders
not-
of all time.
yeah, true. If you're not on his, I mean, in a sense, if you're not on his team, you're like, that guy is classless. He's a jerk.
Oh, I would
Why would you
think
ever
he's
wanna
kind of
play?
like a Ryan
And then-
Jensen.
And then if you're on a team with him, you're like, yeah, that's the type of guy you want.
That's
You
like
want-
Ryan Jensen.
in your
Wouldn't you
huddle.
say, Bo? You used to play with Ryan Jensen. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think CJ GJ like talks a lot more shit, but yeah, he's a lot more vocal.
No, I
Jensen's
got
a
you.
lot more just like grunting and growling at you mid play and after the play. And
I do
yeah,
think there is,
tone
to be
setter.
fair to Dennis Rodman and Ryan Jensen and others, like CJ has found himself in some situations where maybe, like internally things weren't as good. Like, so it is, hey, if he's on the other team, you hate him. If he's on your team, you might hate him, but you might like him too. And
I feel like it's always a roller coaster with it, man.
I would like
Exactly,
the
yeah.
guy. I've always liked the guy. I just ever since he was baiting ejections in New Orleans, like I just liked the guy. But the bottom line is Loveland came on. Loveland had a big game. They're starting to use him more. These are all young players. Like, so if you're like, why isn't Luther Burden getting the ball? They're going to figure it out. Like, you've got an adult driving the car now at offensive coordinator, and so they're going to figure it out.
Shout out to Manungai.
Team runs the ball well.
Yeah,
Manungai.
and
Hey.
another little sign of progress off that. His run game improves. You want to see Caleb be better in the play action passing game. 8 of 12, 116, and a 97.9 rating on play action on the day.
Dude, and look at how much you can do with Caleb. We've said this a bunch, that, and Jared Goff's a tremendous quarterback. I mean, he's one of the best in the game, but you can't move him off the spot the way you can move this guy off the spot. And you see how many plays he extends and how many plays that he puts you in a bind because you'll roll him out, to his throwing hand, away from his throwing hand. Like, he's a great off-platform thrower.
Yeah, that's
And when I talk about arm strength for guys, like, he has not been a great deep ball thrower throughout his whole career. Like last year, especially, like some of the accuracy. But when I say arm strength, I also mean like how functional is your arm strength from any area, off platform, on platform, arm angles. Like, he's got the extended play arm strength down. And so, yeah. It was a bit. I mean, think about being down 2 scores with 6 minutes left to go in the ball game, being backed up like that, and going and getting the win in the fucking snow and the wind. The kid from California, there, everybody's like, oh, he paints his nails. He won't like cold weather. I mean, it was great. Good for him, dude.
When trailing this season, he's got a 72.3 adjusted completion rate, 1,300 total yards, 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And on the season, he has the most missed tackles forced by a quarterback with 26. The next closest is Josh Allen with 17.
Yeah, that's wild. Guy's a beast. No, I mean,
we got an indication
Slippery.
about Jackson Dart at all? How long he's going to be out?
Let's see.
You know,
I don't know.
I thought it was interesting, Chris, because you remember after that Thursday night game with the Eagles, I think Jackson Dart went into the blue tent. We were talking about how he runs a lot and he takes a lot of hits, and
Yes.
I feel like he's had a handful of concussions already, right?
It's like the
Three or
fourth,
four.
Yeah. Fourth game that he's had to go to the blue tent. I mean, he took like, I think it's 77 hits in.
We can see a quarterback in a guardian cap at some point here soon.
Probably.
Or a quarterback and a running back in a guardian cap.
Oh, I love it. Do you think the guardian cap would help? Like, do you think it would limit like that bounce? Because that's really what it is that sucks. Is the guys getting tackled? It's not like the impact of you getting hit. Like most of the time,
they need to put little airbags in people's helmets when they get a certain force and they're falling backwards. Like, psh.
Bro, they have those. They have those for like older people for like falling. And
they have airbags for grandmas.
Yeah,
yes,
like if you fall fast enough, it'll just
absolutely, bro.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna need to be getting fitted for one of those at some point.
Wait, what is that? Like, what do you mean?
Like
what deploys?
Yo, this
from a hat?
It's like a legit, like
yeah, that's
that.
incredible. That guy looks like look at this guy looks like a Revolutionary War character.
only $1,000,
yo.
a unisex
Yeah, but I mean, what's
elderly
your noggin
anti-fall.
worth?
So, exactly.
What's Meemaw's noggin worth? It's worth $1,000, bro.
Walking
That's
around in that
unisex
vest all
too.
day.
Can you go to the right? Can you go to the right?
Is that airbag
I could see
deployed,
someone
or
going
is
in
that
that
just
with a
what the
tunnel
hat
block,
is?
too, like
So that's
pregame,
deployed.
just wearing that thing.
Yeah, just keep it deployed. Unisex elderly anti-fall
All you
airbag.
ever know.
Vest. It's vest wearable.
It pops up in 0.08 seconds.
Dude, look at this fucking guy. He's too young to need an airbag.
Yeah,
What's
no.
going on with him? This guy on Amazon.
All of his friends just shit on him.
That's crazy.
You're like,
oh yeah.
Oh, you need that?
Look out, everybody! David's here.
Don't fall.
I got you, buddy.
But then as a defender, all you're doing in your meeting room is be like, I bet you I can make his airbag deploy.
Yeah, pretty much. It's 2050, and some D coordinator
Airbag
gets
gate.
suspended forever for being like, let's deploy this guy's airbag. That's like the 2050 version of cutting the head off the snake and the body dying. So, anyways, we're headed there. 77 hits and 7 starts, and was
for
evaluated
Jackson
for
Dart under.
concussions 4 times this year. This is from Mike Renner, one of my brother's coworkers. Inexcusable and had to be done. Daboll was fired. That's what Mike Renner's saying. To sacrifice Dart's health to save his own job. Daboll was willing to sacrifice Dart's health to save his own job. I mean, yes and no. It's also like you got to learn how to get out of bounds and fall. Lamar Jackson
he's trying to win, man.
Lamar Jackson's run for like 50 miles on his career, and I've never seen him fall hard.
I think Dart's
I know it's
issue
Lamar
is,
Jackson.
I think his issue is he probably feels like sliding or running out of bounds. People are lying and gonna be like, "Oh, you're soft. Like you should have ran." He's like, "Yeah, you know what? I'm not doing that."
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think he's kind of living in a Varsity Blues movie. Those guys were like living in a month-long Varsity Blues movie. Yeah, that's true. Daboll also had Daniel Jones and Josh Allen take a ton of hits, and maybe that is a Daboll thing. But I wouldn't listen. Jackson Dart has to be careful when he tucks the football and runs with it. I mean, he just does. Well, we might be down another generational talent, a la Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
People are going to be saying, like, what could have been with Jackson Dart? I know I'm saying it. And then this is my moment where I'm like, I didn't see this because I'm telling you the truth, I didn't see this game. Is Shuck good? Because, like, coming into a game like this, the reason you don't want to bet the Panthers is because
You don't know.
There's so much about the guy you don't know. It's like, how big of a jump can he make from one week to the next?
I mean, it looked good. A lot of that was the Panthers defense played pretty horrifically, but he had some good throws. He threw balls outside of the numbers, 11-16 and 2 touchdowns thrown to that side of the field. Bryce Young and the Panthers, like the Saints defense took away the Panthers run game. Rico Dowdle couldn't do anything.
They took away the run game from all my favorite players yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah. They took Josh's run game. They took my Prince's run game.
Took it right out from under him.
And he couldn't throw the ball, could he?
No, it was one of those where you're just, we talked about
Somebody who texted me before the game, like, put the Panthers in a teaser. They're not losing, which I didn't. and then like 30 minutes later, that same person was like, Bryce Young is so bad. I'm like, glad you're.
The Panthers lost 11 straight games as favorites. And that's since 2021. That's 11, like 2 crazy stats. They've been favorites in 11 games since 2021, and then they've lost them all. Wild.
No, it's wild. I mean, there's very few spots being favored.
Right. Incredible.
That means their record as a dog is just through the roof, dude.
Through the roof. But we were talking about that with the Packers. They played up to the Packers level. They play. Who else? They've done this against top teams every year.
Yeah, they do this from time to time,
and then they do a little doo doo happen.
which is why they're just not they're
know
just
what's
not
funny?
there.
Yeah.
I had a little prop bet with like 3 running backs to have 2 touchdowns, and Rico Dowdle was one of them. And he scored first in this game, so like I kind of paid attention to it early, being like, "Oh, maybe he'll score 2 touchdowns quick." And then after that touchdown, that was it.
That was it.
That was it.
He was playing with house money early.
House
Well,
money.
that sounded like a real shitty game, Reed. I'm sorry I made you watch that.
It's okay.
Good to know that.
Good to know.
Alvin Kamara over 100 rushing and receiving yards.
Really?
A little action back with a new quarterback back there. Maybe a little life left.
I remember when they were talking about him this offseason like he was going to be the guy. And maybe the fact that they waited this long tells you they wanted him to, maybe
Take a soft landing.
Rattler was like the guy in the soldier in the meme covering the baby.
Yeah.
And we didn't know the baby was Shuck all along.
Imagine.
Yeah.
All it takes is one more good game like that for the buzz to really start.
Well, yeah, and then inevitably, like, he comes back down to earth, like, 7 weeks into his career. But, like, I don't know. We'll see, man. Saints, hey, I will say this. Those Saints look fucking incredible in the
I was
all
going to bring
white.
that up.
Is he one?
Why would you not
out
ever
for his
wear those every game on the road?
Outstanding.
Every game. And I'd wear them at home.
Oh, we agree on one.
I'd wear them at home, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd wear them at home and make the other team wear dark colors.
They look great.
Look at that. That's one of the best get-ups in the whole fucking league.
Couldn't agree more.
Oh,
Wow.
The white helmet,
White.
This is like, this is
really
home.
fresh.
Yeah. Or you can look like Wake Forest.
Oh my
I don't want to bring up Wake Forest right now.
Jeez,
Jesus, I didn't mean to do
Man,
that.
come on.
Well, that's my fault
Come on.
What-
because I
one
went on
under,
the
Reed? One
ACC
under.
Pick'em show and
Yeah, you
Alright.
did.
and was like,
Pick.
well, it's funny because people are like, hey, come on the show and pick the Virginia game. And then you get on the show and you're like, 34-17 Virginia. And then after the game, like we lose our quarterback in the first quarter. I don't think we were winning 34-17, but I think we would have won.
Yeah.
And Wake played good. I got a shout out to Wake. And the nice thing about Wake is like I don't know any Wake people, so I don't have any bad associations with them.
yeah.
But of course, people are peppering you like, "That age, well, what a dumb pick." I'm like, "Would you want me to come on and pick Wake?"
Right.
Like, I'm a Virginia fan at heart. Am I shocked when we lose a game like
Right.
that? But it was funny because I went on that show and had the kids come up. And I was like, because when I was a kid and like my dad would do stuff, I'd be like, I don't want to be in the mix. And I was like, are you sure you want to be up there with me? They're like, oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
They were like, we want to be up there. and then like somehow instead of like just being up there standing near me, they all of a sudden were like picking the games with me, Jimbo Fisher, Eric Mack, and Eddie Royal,
awesome.
and Taylor Tannenbaum. And the funniest thing was, of course, I told him, I was like, hey, you don't pick Clemson or I'm cutting the power off in the house. And my son picked Clemson anyways. and then we're walking back to the car.
Clemson win?
Did they win or not?
I think
Florida
it was
State,
Florida
Clemson.
State.
Oh, okay.
So anyways, I'm walking back to the car and I'm like, gosh, you have fun? Like that was fun. And Luke's like, yeah, I had fun. And Waylon goes, yeah, it was fun. But like, why didn't they have a name under our picks like Luke and Waylon? Like he wanted like a Chiron.
I feel that, Waylon.
I'm like, for
Get
real,
it-
dude?
get it
Like,
right,
I get you
bro.
on fucking TV, son.
That is
And look at
awesome.
you. Now all of a sudden you got a SAG card or something. Like you want me to put
He's going to
this on
start
your
a rival
IMDb,
podcast
bro?
next.
All right.
Clemson did win that game, 24-10.
Ugh.
Oh, nice pick.
Now this game was kind of a good looking game on TV. I'm not saying the game. I told you it would go over. I said that to Reed before because
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's just such a. Now I didn't see any of the game, but what I saw of the game, those orange helmets and the green. If they just played that game on grass, that might have been the Bevel Conway of the week. I mean, that's a gorgeous uniform combination.
Yeah, it did look pretty solid. Now
The football though.
you look at the score and you see 27-20. And you're
Yes.
like, oh, yeah, all right. Pretty decent game. And then you look at the stats and you see that Justin Field, who at one point was like 1 for 5 for 3 yards, he finished 6 of 11 for 54, touchdown, interception, 7 carries, 28 yards. Just a little bit of a rough watch overall. Dylan Gabriel tossed a couple touchdowns. Those look good. It was the Jets were honoring Nick Mangold, so it was a emotional game. It was great to see that DeBrickshaw Ferguson was out giving some love to his former teammate. But the most interesting thing is the Jets are just coming off of 2 big trades, right? They just traded away 2 of probably their two best defensive players, and then they come out and do this. Now, obviously, it's the Browns' defense, but the whole team looked. They looked energized. They looked like they were bringing it. Quincy Williams, he was benched last week, or in the news. He ended up playing like 90% of the snaps.
Oh, psych.
Psych. We gonna play it.
And I'm just seeing this.
And he did his brother's celebration after.
Yeah. He said he was looking around. He was like, I was looking around for my brother, and at first it didn't dawn on me, so I just started doing it, think he was gonna come get me, and then I was like, oh, he's not coming.
Well, the guy that's flashing up here is seeing the Will McDonald pressure rate and the sacks and the 9 pressures, dude. 4 sacks.
Yeah, 4 sacks. I mean, he's
like,
getting a hat.
So here's when you look at the Jets, and we said it coming into this season, there's some good furniture in this house.
No doubt.
Right? This is one piece of furniture that they kind of forgot about. Like they threw it in with the sale of the house, and like you think about sending Quinnen Williams away and Sauce Gardner, like, and you think, oh well, there's nobody left on defense. Like there's still a couple pieces, man. This guy, they think he's really good, and I think he's gotten better. I think he's gotten more stout.
Yeah,
he looks stronger than he did his rookie year.
Yeah,
and it looks like he's creating more of his pressures, whereas early on, it looked like he, a lot of his sacks, they'd be like loops and things where he didn't really beat anybody per se. Now it looks like they think he can be a real number 1.
He is solid. He played quite well yesterday.
Fuck, dude. I'm not
just haven't won a home game in forever. And shout out to Max B. He's a rapper who was locked up for 16 years.
Is he out?
He got released.
No way.
And was at the Jets game to see the Jets win a home game. This is an early best seat, but it's just imagine getting out after 16 years. Your buddy
going to a Jets game?
Buddy's bringing you to a Jets game because the Jets are playing home. I don't know if he's a Giants or a Jets fan, but I just feel like he's from New York. There's a game home. Your buddies want to bring you. And you
dude, Max B, I didn't know about. Wait, Max B went away 16 years ago?
16 years ago.
Where did the time go, bro? Like, I'm out here just living my life, and and
it's crazy. It's so crazy.
I didn't know he was ever getting out.
Me either.
Hopefully good for him.
Exactly. Great for him.
Best flight.
Right? You got to see the Jets win a home game.
Wow.
Max B.
Max B. Haven't heard that name in a while, dude. Didn't know I was going to again. This is cool.
After the game yesterday with the Jets win, the Giants now have a worse record than the Jets over the last 5 years. The Jets are 25-52. Giants are 24-53-1.
Oh, you know what's another? That's a fucking crazy deal.
That's
the
wild.
state of New York. They don't play football.
Yeah, not
now,
well.
Here's they don't. They don't. It's
what
it's
about,
not enough
what about
room
the
for
Bills. Easy.
Oh yeah, well that's
Easy.
almost like Canada.
Yeah.
Same
like
state.
Canada.
We in the same state.
I think they have
Well,
25 wins over the last
From
like
a
2
facility
years.
standpoint, the Jets and the Giants are
Or actually
Jersey based.
Jersey.
Oh, Jersey.
Yeah.
So
can't
New
play
York,
football.
we're in good. We're
Yeah,
New
New York's
York.
in good.
Jersey can't play football.
What is this? We
What you mean?
tri-state.
I was born in New York.
You tri-state. No, but here's the craziest stat I saw all weekend with like one of those you wouldn't believe this is true. I actually think I'm getting duped, but they were like Matt Stafford finally has a winning record.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
true. Isn't that crazy?
Which just goes
He's
to show you.
115 and 1.
Take a minute.
Yeah.
Take a minute to think about this. How long? There are kids that have grown up knowing Stafford as an LA Rams quarterback. Like their childhoods have been, oh yeah, he's a Rams quarterback. I never saw him play in Detroit. That's how deep the hole that he's been digging out of was. That's how
Holy
bad that football team was. You talk about a guy at 37 years old who might win the MVP. He's what, 27 touchdowns and like 2 interceptions. Like
20 touchdowns, 0 picks in the last 4 games.
brother.
That's to say he was sub 500 on his career.
whole life.
Whole life.
After
He
Jordan.
started because he lost his first 2 games, then he won.
Oh my God,
then it was
that makes total sense.
an
when you think
L
about it.
fest.
But
No, it makes a lot of sense. But it's one of those things where you're like, damn, like that's how tough it was in Detroit.
no doubt.
And it also like that's why I think he's a Hall of Famer. I think that's why he deserves like a Lifetime Achievement Award. It's just crazy to me that somebody look at all those years. Detroit Lions. Look at all the
2-14,
bad football.
6-10, 10-6, 4-12, 7-9, 11-5, 7-9, 9-7, 9-7, and we're just at 2017. 6-10, 3-12-1, 5-11, 3-13-1.
Okay, but when did he
9-8.
leave? 2020?
2023, we're
When did he leave?
2020. Yeah, 2020. That's 5-11.
Yeah, and listen, there were the years in there. I remember I was in New Orleans for that. I think it was Saints Lions playoff game when they got in for the first time. So they did go to the playoffs like once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like he played in St. Louis or something, but like
Yeah, he had 3 wild card losses.
But this is incredible, man. Good for him. Like he deserves it.
Big time.
Okay, there's no more games, are there?
No more games, and we're going to hear
Hallelujah
from our ring. This first phone line is our friend from last week, a little Washington Commander fan.
Oh, good. I'm sure he's doing real good.
Yep.
Hey, Chris, how's it going, man? Called last week from Minnesota, just Commanders fan, calling again. So I had another question for you for this week. So I'd be really interested in learning about the process for how you guys would break down film, like after games. You know, the biggest thing, like obviously I know like you're looking for like technique and where you missed assignments, but I wondered did you ever pause the film and just go up to the screen and count to make sure there's 11 guys on the field? Because I swear to God, Chris, we're playing with 9. Somebody is open on every single play. Wide open, running across the field without a defender within 10 yards. How? And why?
And why?
Is that possible? We have to be short of players. Let me know, Chris. Just wondering kind of how that works.
This guy's great. Yeah, he's not doing real good, is he? I mean, no, we didn't used to do that generally.
We should start
Someone
doing
in
some
the
player
chat goes,
counts.
No,
"Somebody get that
honestly,
man a
somebody
left-handed cigarette."
That's what Joe Witt wasn't doing, and
Yeah.
that ended up being that's the Dan Quinn technique. So they'll probably be a lot better immediately.
They were playing 9-man.
They were playing 9-man football.
Our next caller, we got a little ring for Nate for Dr. Fax.
Bro, can someone just definitely put a note at the end of the season to come back to this week's podcast and tell Dr. Fax how wrong he is? It doesn't matter that the Chiefs aren't in the playoffs today. Duval isn't going to be in at the end of the season. So, Fax, we all love you. We all think you're hilarious, but you are also the dingiest of ding-dongs. There's
called you a ding-dong.
absolutely no way Jags are in and Chiefs are out come the end of the season. It's just not going to happen. I'm not saying that Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback on the planet. Obviously, that's Josh Allen. But listen.
Yeah!
Be a realist. Be someone who can think with their brain and not with their heart. Jags are out. Chiefs are going to be in. By hook or by crook, whether it's by the refs or by the act of God of Roger Goodell, the Chiefs are definitely going to be in the playoffs. But someone come back to this week's episode at the end of the season and definitely tell Dr. Fax how wrong he was.
No, I know what
By
you're
the
going
way,
to say.
No. Before you say anything, this person you clearly paid and gave them a script to sound exactly like you and big up Mahomes and Josh Allen.
Wait, who?
And talk
Sound like
about
who?
KC.
Sound like me?
Yes,
Dog.
dog.
If I'd have paid somebody, I'd have known about it.
Dog.
I don't know this human being.
He sounds It sounds right up your alley. And hey,
I'm the only person on the planet that thinks the Chiefs are better than the Jags.
No, but you're saying all that stuff to be like, oh yeah, I don't think Mahomes is the best on the planet, but Josh Allen is. Like, give me a break.
Oh, I guess I'm the only person on the planet that thinks Josh is the best quarterback.
No, it's fine. You could everyone think what you want.
So I hired him.
Think what you want.
So I hired the caller.
The Jags, we're in a good spot, guys.
They're in a good spot.
We're in a good spot. Hey, listen, I'm a Jags fan.
We're in a good spot.
We're never used to shit like this.
Just a little light chop. Just a little light chop.
That's all it is.
But fasten your seatbelt so you don't break your neck.
Clip it. Hey, you lazy ass fan. You clip every clip. You go back and find every clip and put it together and get it ready.
I love it.
How about that?
How about that?
How about that?
Cash me outside.
How about that?
And just know if the Jags don't make the playoffs, I'm blocking all you guys on social media. It's all
That's hilarious. What have you shut down all your social channels?
No, I wouldn't. It's not.
I've thought about doing it before.
Really?
Yeah, honestly, but just like because I don't like it.
Well, okay.
And the only reason I don't shut it down is because like I know if I shut down my Twitter one day, everybody's gonna be like, "Yo, Chris did a crime or something." Like there's something bad coming out. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
You should think about shutting down your social media though, because this is gonna happen.
No way. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm gonna be roasting you.
Oh man, I wouldn't want to wait until the end, and then when the Kansas City doesn't make it, when the Bills get blocked off, and then when the Bucks get blocked off, and all you guys are in here just having to be like, oh, who's gonna win? And you guys gonna act like, oh, we're Eagles fans. We love the Eagles. Nolan, except for Nolan, he rides for the Eagles. He rides for the Eagles, so it's all good. But except for that, when all your teams aren't in the playoffs, even if Jags aren't, it's gonna be an amazing postseason with you guys sitting here without all your little man crushes, ain't playing, ain't doing nothing. They in Mykonos. They're gonna be in Mykonos. Hey,
I love it.
Mykonos trips are about to start getting.
I love how you keep
very
leaving
soon.
Seattle out.
Nah, Seattle, they're all right.
Yeah.
They're all right. We'll see.
I can't keep up with the mental loops that Fax is doing lately.
No, he's a martial artist when
It's not mental loop. We have receipts on all this stuff.
What about your team? What about your team? What about your team? What about your team?
You picked the
and
Ravens.
that's also your team. It wasn't your team last week, but this week it
I'm
is.
going off of our stuff that we picked for I know it was a long time ago, but it's all on Greenlight social media.
I didn't pick
page,
the
guys.
Ravens though.
No, I said him.
I picked the Ravens and the Eagles, and I still feel pretty good about it.
Okay. Well, I feel great about the Pats and Green Bay guys.
Dude, mine's not that bad though, honestly. It really. How is it not?
Who'd you pick, Chris?
I had the Bills and the Bucks. Like it's really not that bad. I mean, that's not a bad pick.
Totally in play.
So it's totally in play. It's totally in play, Facts. And also, I don't want it to happen. I would rather the Eagles go to the Super Bowl. So, like, I don't even want to be right in the NFC. I would love it if the Bills go.
There we go.
But if the Pats go, bro, I'll be the first one to congratulate you. A lot like I delivered that breakdown today. Just nothing but compliments and sunshine for your Patriots. Because I too respect the Patriots.
Sunshine and glory holes for the Patriots.
Sunshine and glory holes.
It's a glory hole.
But we all know this is going to be like a fucked up Super Bowl.
This
is going to be just like some shit none of us had written.
It's
going to be like
Pats are
Colts
going to put you on the
Seahawks.
parade float.
Watch it be Colts Seahawks.
That would probably be a
Colts,
great.
Seahawks,
I wouldn't mind
the reanimated quarterbacks.
Colts Seahawks and in like a 24-17 win for fucking Seattle.
Just something ugly.
weird.
Everybody's like, "What the fuck?" No, put the good teams back in there again. All right, so
Our
Like
last
the Jags.
like the Jags, put the Jags in.
Our last caller's Ricky. Shout out to Ricky in the chat earlier today. He had the Derrick Henry story. Say he was tackling Derrick Henry. So now we're gonna rip Ricky talking about his high school career against Derrick Henry.
Hey, Chris. Long time, full time. I'm Wookie Justiniano.
What up,
I
Ricky?
played Derrick Henry when he was a freshman in high school, and I had a bad day. It was a long day before we played them. We actually, as a team, drove up to Yulee to watch him. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little shook. This guy was like 13 years old, bigger than my defensive line coach. And yeah, I played outside linebacker, so, had to set the edge a couple times. I may have gotten trucked by Derrick. It wasn't fun, but I did tackle him twice. And you know what?
Nice.
I'll tell my kids about that.
No, you can.
It was very scary, so I'm a little out of breath. You caught me mid-walkout, but yeah, that's it. Been a fan forever. Big Rams fan. You're a Rams legend to me, and
brother.
yeah, love you guys.
Love you, Ricky. Thanks for always being in the chat, chopping it up with the fellas. Dude, to think that you could be like, I don't really like to think you could tell your kids I tackled Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
And like I'm still here. Like you're kind of a superhero, dude.
Live to tell the tale.
Honestly, Ricky, good on you, bro.
Yeah.
But honestly, that high school tape had to be just fucking crazy. Me, Friday night, I went to watch there's a no because St. Anne's, shout out to St. Anne's, they got a win down at Nansemond, Suffolk, my high school.
Yep.
Right? Shout out to Tom and Kev and Joe Reed and Heath and all those guys and Austin, like great group of guys. Okay. But Friday night I didn't want to drive to the beach to watch Stab. So I drove to Monticello High School, which is like 15 minutes away, to see Louisa play because they got this Savion Hitter guy who's the best running back in the country. Like he's gonna make a couple mil next year at Michigan.
Oh yeah.
And he scores like 8 touchdowns a game. And I just very, very rarely have seen a great player play high school football. Like, you know what I mean? Like you just I need to do it more. So I took the kids, I like convinced them, told them all about the kid, like drive to the game, like we're on the fence. I'm like, we're hustling down. They're already up 28-0. And we're hustling along the fence to get to like the red zone so we can see their offense. And we get down there and they're like, is that him? Is that him? And I watch the running back take the handoff and I'm like, yeah, he's a good player, but like that can't be him. And then somebody walks up there like, did you come here to see Savion? I'm like, yeah. He's like, load management. They're like, they're not playing him tonight. You know, like, so
brutal.
So it's like, and I'm sitting here at a 40-7 high school game. But that's something you don't think about, that in today's day and age, like they will rest kids. Like, and also I think part of it is because of where they're going next year. Like it's not a state playoff game yet. So like the dude's going to sit. I just think it's wild to think about. I still want to see that guy play. Have you seen him play yet?
No, I haven't yet. Maybe on social media by accident, but like I haven't.
He was in sweatpants. I saw him from like 200 yards away, and I spotted him immediately. When somebody told me he's not playing tonight, I was like skinned. I was like, yep, that's him, number 5. Like he just, you know what I mean?
Looks the part.
Looks the part. Yeah. So, all right, here we go. Next call, or
we're actually gonna call into BetMGM and hear what they have to say.
I'd love to call into BetMGM. All right. This football season, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at first touchdown scores with BetMGM's second chance promotion. You'll get your stake back in cash if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. Be sure to take advantage of this offer. And if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code GREENLIGHT. And you'll get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. BetMGM, make it legendary. I know I did last night. Chase Long was in the building. Second week in a row, just found my way out of some trouble on the primetime game. Chargers -3, free money. And keep tailing the Greenlight boys. We are at, what are we at now, Reed?
Y'all are 19 over 500.
19 over 500. Picking 5 a week. We're doing a good job. So just keep tailing us. And just be careful. I always say that. Just be careful. The public's been getting killed. We'll talk about tonight's game in a second.
Go Packers.
I'm going to be with the public, but the public is on the birds, man. We'll talk about that in a second.
First, we're going to hit our BetMGM moments. We're going to hear what you guys have to say, and we're going to do it a little differently this week. And it's just going to be
Dr. Fax has got dad stuff. Fax, see ya. Dad stuff.
CFX.
And so it's just going to be Chris, Bo, and Nolan ripping them. I'm going to be the ultimate decider. You guys have to give up your you have to nominate the right ones and see if you can play to what I might choose.
Okay.
But just to run through these moments, just so the fans in the chat know what we're deciding. Best flight, you know that one. The best flight home from an away game. The worst flight back from an away game. Belleville Conway is the prettiest view in football,
football, or it could be in
general.
Yeah,
sports across the world.
You can non-sports any of these, but you're the fucking judge, so I'll shut up.
I'm the judge. The anti-Belleville Conway is the worst view. Best seat, you're sitting pretty. You got a good vibe. Worst seat is the opposite of that. Fly on the wall is you like what it sounds. What you want to hear, what you want to know of a private conversation or private, something happening. Hollow Man. worst feeling person, but someone who let down.
Somebody,
people on Sunday.
somebody might have let their team down, or they're just, you don't want to be that person. I explain it as, if you could be anybody,
don't be that
guy yesterday.
Yep. And then the SCL Memorial, someone who might be forgotten for a amazing performance. Game Ball is our MVP, and we are going to start. What best flight do you guys have first?
Ooh, best flight read. Can I interest you in the New Orleans Saints?
Okay.
Short flight, kind of a regional flight, because Charlotte's not very far from New Orleans. And, you get a win, Tyler Shuck. You're wearing the all whites. You're going back to New Orleans. I don't know.
Going back home to shuck some oysters.
Going back to shuck some oysters. They haven't been winning a lot.
Right.
When you're on a bad team and you win a game, like, it's a party on the
oysters
plane.
on the plane. You
get oysters on the plane.
Yeah. Bo, who you got?
Got to be careful with those oysters on the plane, Chris.
You might
best flight.
Fucking the ashtray.
Start jerking off everyone next to you. Anyway,
Dr. Fax thinks you just started.
God, I wish Fax was here for that. All right. Anyway.
Oh no! Oh no! Our starting guard is humping the fuselage. Shouldn't have gone to.
Best flight. Patriots came down here to Tampa, where I currently am, and got a win over the division NFC South leader, Tampa Bay Bucks. You saw Vrabes talking that shit in the tunnel on the way out. I think that's just a good flight, man. Nothing crazy. Not super long flight. You're not flying West Coast to East Coast or anything like that. Tampa up to Foxborough is not too bad. Good flight, good win. Good win for the Pats. They're probably pumped on that plane.
My best flight is the Indianapolis Colts. Coming back from Germany, you get a gutsy win. You're headed into the bye week. Yes, it's a long flight read, but they got a little bit of time off. They can have a couple German sodas, cold German sodas on the ride back. You get the bye week, chill, recover, gearing up for the big one against the Chiefs the following week.
True. I dig the Colts. It was a good win, but that long flight is going to hurt.
It's a lot of turbulence too. I'm looking at the turbulence map, not to sway anybody. I'm looking at the turbulence map up there by east of Maine, where the planes from Germany come in. Like, there's a lot of red and orange.
Come around the Horn of Maine,
as
everyone calls it. And the Patriots is a good flight too, but you're flying up the eastern seaboard. That's kind of a long one. I want to go. I want to take some oysters on the plane. I want the Saints flight.
You know what this is going to quickly turn into, especially when Fax gets back, is going to be like Reed's just picking Chris's picks.
Yeah,
that's okay. Yeah. I'll take the.
I like the short.
Get that out of the way early.
Yeah, get it out of the way early. Exactly. And short flight's good, but also it's an easy one. So worst flight. What do you guys got?
Should we rotate through?
Yeah,
sure.
Let me tell you about the worst flight. That is the United States of America. I don't know if you guys read a newspaper very often, but TSA, a lot of troubling times out there. There's a lot of problems with air traffic controllers. My sources are telling me that there are long lines at TSA, a lot of canceled flights. I saw one of those flight boards over in Atlanta, which is a Delta hub for you guys that don't know, and lots of red. America is going through a turbulent time, pun intended. So worst flight is America. We need to get these TSA and air traffic controllers figured out, because you boys got some flights coming up, and I don't want to get stuck in Atlanta. Okay.
Yeah.
Worst flight, America.
My worst flight is the Jets acquisitions this past week. Mozzie Smith, A.D. Mitchell. They got to win. They've got the draft capital now, but as a player, I can't imagine it feels too good getting traded to the team that's building for the future. It's gonna be a rough couple months.
The boys are gonna be fun eventually.
Yeah.
Now, I think those are hard to beat, but I did send Reed some multimedia. I'm gonna get a little creative here. This is gonna be worst ride. Period. Nobody took a worse ride than the young men in this video that Reed is about to show us here. It happened on a high school football field on Friday night. I don't know who these people are. Wheeling Park Patriots, John Marshall Monarchs. This is insane. This truck-sized high school kid is tackled at some point here. He's got to be tackled. This doesn't stop. My man's at the 35.
Golly.
There are people standing around the pile like they don't know what to do. They don't want to give him any more momentum. He finds a way to fucking score, dude. Who is this
legend?
Guy? Who is this?
Is that Derrick Henry?
Who
is that Derrick Henry high school tape?
Yeah, we finally found it.
We found the tape. Derrick Henry, bro. This is, you know what? Yards after contact. This is 55 yards in contact.
Hey,
with
credit
5 individuals.
During contact.
You would add it up, right?
Credit to the refs letting this play out.
Yes,
well,
for progress.
And been
you know?
like, yeah.
Well, if the Eagles were on offense here, the Eagles refs from a couple weeks ago would have blown it dead.
They would have blown it
at the 45, right at the.
Yeah. They would have robbed us of an amazing play. This is so incredible. Just a high point the football for this guy. So worst ride all these gentlemen on the black team.
As a high schooler, you definitely don't want that. You have to go back to calculus class probably on Monday and see this clip circulating when you're tapping into the Greenlight podcast. It's not a good thing. But it's the worst is the Jets acquisition.
It's got to be.
Mozzie Smith had 11 plays, I think. John Mechie had a pair. Another couple of those guys got on the field. They got to win, but you're right. It's a future building process, and they might not be around to see it. While they have to watch their guys, who pass them in the air.
Yeah.
Get some dubs and on their way to the playoffs, hopefully. So, Bevel Conway. Bo, what was your Bevel Conway?
Dude, how about Newsome and his flight to Jacksonville, where it's like, remember that
that's a great call. Yeah,
remember that whole thing where we were like, man, wouldn't want to be him, or wouldn't want to be the guy going to Cleveland.
Yeah.
But honestly, it kind of feels like you're dodging a bullet.
Right.
At least Cleveland's defense kind of having fun. Jim's got him playing hard and that sort of thing. I don't know.
That's a great call.
All right, we Bevel.
What were we talking about?
Bevel Conway.
Bevel Conway. All right. You know what? I went to Wisconsin. We all know that. I do not like the Indiana Hoosiers. I'm not a fan, but the slow-mo version of Omar Cooper Jr.'s catch to beat Penn State and keep that undefeated season, that was fucking awesome. And the call and everything like that to go on, along with we can do a video for Bevel Conway, but just like what an incredible catch. What a great moment. Fuck Indiana, but that was cool to see. You got that. It was
I got to admit, I like Indiana now. I know because of, where you went to school, but this guy Signetti, man.
Google me.
I know, JMU West. I know he came across, when he did the Google me thing, I was like, oh, get a load of this guy. But now I'm like, get a load of this guy. He just doesn't fucking lose. He's right, man.
This play right
Look
here.
Look at that. Oh, right there.
It's insane to me that he
That's
can
the
get his
Bevel,
foot
that
down.
moment.
That's incredible.
Look at that
Shout out
ref
to the ref,
staring right
dude.
down his feet.
Yeah, but not a touchdown
Really
in
shout
the
out to
pros.
the ref.
So not a touchdown in the pros.
No.
Okay, facts.
Well, somebody's got to do it. He's
Daddy duty.
yeah, he's on daddy duty.
Yeah, it's wild. His right.
I mean,
foot
yeah,
does
it's
not
like
touch
in the
ground.
minors. It's a great catch.
And it's great because the Big Ten Network named it the Old Trapper Player of the Game.
Yeah, he really trapped that ball.
Trap that ball.
Yeah.
Bevel Conway, Chris?
Yeah. So I sent Reed more multimedia. This is from the CPL, Canadian Premier League. Look at these fucking guys playing soccer in the snow. Is this not the coolest thing?
Wow.
If only it was like a cooler sport, but it is soccer, and that is a cool goal. If you run it back briefly, what he's doing is an upside down bicycle kick, and you don't see this a lot. Not on a sunny day. And it looks to me like they have 6 to 8 inches of snow on the ground. So this is fucking insane. And it's cool as hell that they played soccer in the snow. I think it's beautiful.
It's wild that you could still pass the ball. It's like the ball
you can
doesn't
see
roll
the
out.
ball, dude. This is like a.
I love that.
It's
you
a
can see those
blizzard.
juicy flakes.
And you know what? Good on these guys because some of them got to wear shorts and
Right.
they're being tough little guys.
Tough little guys. Tough little soccer guys.
Tough little guys out there.
That is a beautiful scene.
Yeah.
My Bevel Conway, if I may, this might be cheating. I'd like to call back to Thursday Night Football, Broncos versus the Raiders. What a beautiful scene that was.
It was a beautiful scene.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you know who the moderator is. See, that's the issue. You're playing for the audience.
Yep.
See,
Got to know the judge.
Slurp.
If I may, I would say that, or if I could be picky, I prefer
Dude, you may.
black.
You just may, dude. You just may. You're just van.
I'm asking the people here. I want the black numbers on the Raiders. The silver, I don't know. I think it's
Give me either one, dude.
Great.
I
me
think
either
it's tough for a film watcher. I would say.
For sure.
I'm
No,
kind
it
of
is.
ID
It is tough.
personnel
When
out
you,
there.
when you, what was the word? We were looking at something last week that was just like it was asinine. It was. I think it was the maybe the Packers uniforms.
Yes,
Like it's really
That was
hard
really
to see the
bad.
front of the jersey because they're like on these little in these little circles.
the Bills' cold front was the worst of the year with that situation. I mean,
Well,
they
they
might as
played-
well not be wearing
They
numbers.
played terrible
You know?
too.
Yeah,
which
they
wasn't
played
great.
terrible.
I was like, what the fuck is that guy doing? I gotta
Yeah.
watch this terrible play three times. So what do you think, Cowboy?
Belville Conway, it's Omar Cooper Jr.
Yeah, it's
just
Omar.
the like three things. Him making the catch and keeping that right foot off the ground, the referee being right on top of it to make the right call, and the camera work. Great camera work. Shout out to the Big Ten Network and all those dudes behind the scenes making it happen. Omar Cooper Jr. And we are tied at 1 apiece for the fellas. We are going anti-bevel.
I can start with this one. This one was for me last night. Too much yellow in that uniform matchup. Just way too much. I'm generally anti-yellow uniform combinations anyway. Like the Chargers bananas was the worst one of the year for me.
That's sacrilege.
There's just too much yellow going on last night. I think we could have used a different color pant from somebody in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Bo?
I'll follow it up. I agree with you. No, it didn't do it for me. We kind of mentioned this earlier on the show. My Bevel Conway is Daniel Jones's bloody lip. I thought he looked so shook out there. Like something about it. Like he looked like it puts the lotion in the skin on the skin.
Yeah,
like he
in the
was wearing a
basket.
lipstick, man. Do you have a clip of that?
Yeah, pull that up.
Like,
I mean, it's everywhere.
I'll never.
I tweeted.
forget. We went to Vegas one time in college, and my buddy was drinking vodka cranberries. We were making fun of him all night because he was wearing lipstick. We thought, and that's
Right.
Jeez, that's just wild, dude. He looks unhinged too.
I mean, I get it. I mean, I can look like that once a month, if you know what I mean. But that's a tough look on national TV.
I don't know what you mean, Bo. Anyway, Chris, do you have
my
a
God.
anti-bevel?
Well, mine's not going to be much better. So, if anybody's watched end zone film of the Indianapolis and Atlanta game in Germany,
Oh my god!
listen, I know it's
yeah.
been a long time, but I don't need to see big staircases in Germany, like at a stadium where somebody would give like a big speech and like rally a crowd. Like I don't need to see that every time the play starts. And
This is
that
a good
happens-
segue into that Fox broadcast.
It is.
Huh?
It sure is. And it happens to be the stadium. I looked it up and I'm like, nah, that can't be an old staircase. They've got rid of all those staircases. No, that's like one of these staircases. And I had to look at it every time I looked on the film. Anti-Bevel Conway is that stadium in particular.
Yeah, not a good stadium, not good history there, but
But if you're okay with that, then like you can pick something else.
yeah. No, I mean I think that's so bad it can't even be nominated, so I'm going to take it out of the nominee. I can't think about that stuff right now. It's too much yellow. Last night we talked about when we talked about the game. Gross. Too much yellow. Too much yellow on the pantaloons.
But that staircase was just
Someone in the chat said that someone on Twitter said Caleb Williams was mad jealous that Danny Dimes got to be the first player to wear lipstick during a game. That's fucking funny.
that's wild.
Best seat.
Wild.
Chris, best seat.
It's Mike McDaniel. It's him in his flashy fucking car in November in the beautiful Miami weather, driving by that Elbow Room, that Bills bar, in his car. Look at him with his arm out the window. Look at him. He's so funny, dude. He's such a fucking funny guy.
I love the Bills.
If he could just figure out a way to like make his football team good,
Yeah, right.
I huge fan when he does shit like this. Look at that look on his face. Can you enhance? And he tried to say this morning, did you see the video of him talking about this thing?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I don't know. It might not be, it's with AI these days. I'm not really sure if I can't be sure that was me. I just think Mike's funny. Yeah. Pull this up real quick. This is fucking hilarious.
He's got the wrapped car too. That's so good.
Pull this up real quick. I should have had this to you pre-show, but you know.
That's why I like the good old days, you know, the throwbacks of yore where you could trust, you know, the internet and the images because, you know, it is pretty detailed. That, you know, I do live in that area, but, I mean, AI, right?
So let's answer the question.
But, I mean,
Was it you?
Are you confirming or denying?
I mean, I live in that area. AI is real. That's what I got for you.
Dog, he is too funny.
Like, is he trying to be tongue in cheek? I don't get it.
Yes.
Yes.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I feel like
He's blaming a very real thing on AI when the very real thing is like, I'm going to drive this way past the Bills bar with the window open. That's fucking
With my
hilarious.
arm out the window. Hey, yo.
my arm perfectly.
His
poised
give a
out the
fuck
window.
meter might be pretty low though.
Yeah.
You know, with like stuff like that. And
Well, he's going to get fired at the end of the season. Who gives a
Or
shit?
maybe not.
Or maybe not. Or maybe not. Bo, best seat.
Ooh, best seat. Oh yeah, my best seat goes to Rome Odunze's dad. Saw an interview.
That's
Well,
great.
okay, back up. His dad, I think his name's John, right? John Odunze. We might have to fact check that one, but he was pretty
That's pretty
critical on
tough.
X and in the media of Rome not getting enough targets. Game yesterday, Bears beat the Giants, and he was targeted on the very first play. He had 10 targets, 6 catches, 86 yards, and a
James
touchdown.
Adunze.
Yeah, I'm saying James.
James.
Well, somebody needs to tell
Apologies.
James Adunze, who's a history buff and named his son after the ancient city of Rome, that Rome wasn't built in a day. And so you got to be fucking patient, my man. Like, neither was this offense. So, like, just give it some time. I couldn't resist. I just Googled. His name's James. His dad's name is James Adunze, Bo.
Great. But yeah, best seat because he's sitting there being like, I fucking told you so. 10 targets, 6 catches, 86 yards, touchdown. He played well.
Rome had a great quote after the game. He was asked, "Hey, you know, you got the first target. You had a good game," and he goes, "Yeah, thanks, Dad." Right off the jump.
Yeah, that was funny.
So, Nolan,
My best seat is actually, I think Dr. Fax called this out last week, so shout out Dr. Fax. But Quinnen Williams enjoying his second consecutive bye week following the trade from the Jets. They had a Week 9 bye. Goes to the Cowboys. They had a bye this past weekend. Guy basically went on vacation.
Yeah.
That's a pretty nice little mid-season situation. I don't know if the Cowboys – I don't think the Cowboys will be going dancing this year, but at least he got to enjoy a couple weeks.
I think that's a good seat, you know, but is 2 weeks out of football, is he going to get too stiff? Is he not going to be able to play? You don't know. Rome Odunze, his dad, that's a great seat as well. But, I mean, your son's in the NFL. You get to watch your son on Sundays every week. You know, every week's a good seat. Mike McDaniel, he doesn't have a lot to cheer for this year. So getting a win against the Bills, it's Mike McDaniel. He's got the best seat, rolling by
Oh,
the
I
ball.
thought you were doing the thing where you were going to compliment me and then pick Nolan.
Not
That's a
so
nice pattern
fast.
breaker by you.
Yep.
Early in the
Split it up.
game, but you're breaking patterns. Okay. Okay.
Worst seat.
I can kick this off if you guys don't mind.
Do
Go
it.
ahead.
Worst seat is your boy Bo Allen on Monday, trying to figure out how the fuck I watch Monday Night Football. The Eagles at the Packers. I have asked my friends at the Greenlight Podcast. I was on the phone with Jason Kelsey earlier. This motherfucker is going to be calling the game. And I'm like, hey, can I get your login for ESPN whatever, Disney whatever, to watch this goddamn game because I have absolutely zero idea how to watch it. And he was absolutely no help at all. So I don't know how I'm going to watch it. I might have to go to this local bar called The Dog, which I
I'll
think
be
we all
there.
kinda
I'll be
know
there
how
at
that one might end.
8:15.
Dude, come through.
I would
But yeah,
love
worst
to.
seat. How the
How
fuck
quick can
do
I
you
get
watch
down
Monday Night Football? I don't really know. We'll figure it out.
Stream East.
Stream East.
Is that still a thing? Stream East.
Yeah. Crack
Streams.
Streams came back because
Congratulations. Your computer now has herpes. No big deal. Medication will keep it under control. Dude, I was trying to stream a high school football game the other night, and my computer had like 8 viruses. Like as soon as you click on it, it's getting scary out there to try to watch a game. It's a good call, Bo.
Oh, someone says, our guy Ricky, if you log into NFL app and put in your cred for YouTube TV, it will play.
Oh, that's interesting. What
Ricky,
up?
shout out.
Watch.
Thank you, Ricky.
But you got to have an
Let me take a
NFL
photo
app
of that.
login.
I think
Gotta
we
have it.
might.
Yeah.
People are too greedy, just generally. We don't need to make it this complicated.
Speaking
for
of being
consumers
too
to
greedy,
watch.
YouTube TV sent out the $20 voucher. You have to opt in though. So go to your email if you got YouTube TV, get $20. It's kind of bullshit they didn't just give it to you, but go get that $20.
Well, because they know people like
50%,
me
exactly.
email.
But still, it's lame. Anyway, Nolan, worst seat.
My worst seat is the fans of the New York Football Giants. I mean, you want to talk about a free fall from the heights of hope. Week 6, they beat the brakes off the Eagles on Thursday Night Football, to the depths of despair, being without a head coach come Week 10. I mean, that was like, it was a complete free fall, and they I don't see it getting any better before the end of the season.
Yeah, not easy. Chris, worst seat?
I'm going to go Matt Eberflus. And that can be true like all year long, but currently things couldn't be worse for their defense, right? And you're watching your old team and somebody comes in and, it's like your ex looks happier, your ex looks better, your ex looks like all that stuff. And that's what's happening up in Chicago. And I think it just exposes, remember that article at the beginning of the year, how they were like, yep, it was all Caleb,
Evidently not.
And there might have been some truth to, like some things he didn't do well, but like it reflects really poorly on the coaching staff that was there.
Not well on him.
And they had a bye.
Right.
So he's watching that game.
Eyes on it. Yeah, it's going to Bo for, Bo, you really could have just stopped it. Worst seat is me. But, throwing Monday Night Football is no problem as well. So, yeah, Bo. And I mean, it really is a worse seat for everybody having to deal with this BS right now. So, YouTube TV and ESPN, figure it the frick out. Fly on the wall.
Ooh, fly on the wall. Who's up?
I
Me?
got one, but
Oh.
Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
No, I don't want to go.
Bo, go.
Go.
I want Bo to go.
I'll go first. All right, fine. Oh, as we all know, Micah Parsons was traded from the Dallas Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers are playing tonight. Good luck watching that game. Anyway, it came out recently that in that trade there was a poison pill included where essentially if the Packers wanted to trade him to the NFC East rivals of the Cowboys, it was going to be very, very costly. I would have absolutely loved to have seen all the negotiations and Jerry Jones being hyper-specific and all the minutia involved with trying to make sure that in no world would Micah Parsons end up in Philly. I think, Nolan, you might have some more specifics. My understanding is that they would have to trade. If they traded Micah to the Eagles, then they would have to give up another first round pick to the Cowboys. I think that's hilarious. I would just want to know like how adamant Jerry was in these trade negotiations that like this was part of it. And I just think that's so fucking hilarious and interesting.
It's like in a divorce settlement to be like, no, not that guy. Like,
Yeah.
No.
You just don't date him. Date him. I get your sky miles.
I get the dog. If I catch you with that dude, if I catch you with anybody taller than me, I get the dog.
Chris, who'd you have fly on the wall?
Fly on the wall, the Texas coin flip, bro. This Texas high school football coin flip. Like, is this really how it goes down there? I mean, also, good on these coaches. The background is a few teams in Texas were tied or something, and to break the tie, they had to meet at a Valero, and they all stood in a circle and flipped coins. Now, I don't exactly understand the mechanism of the coin flip. Do you?
They said it was the lowest, like the one team was going to be out, so they determined how the coin flip was going to figure out.
Now, are these two teams or three teams?
Three teams.
Jeez Louise.
And they met right in the middle of because it was about an hour away, but I mean it doesn't get much.
Bro, he threw that coin at homegirl.
Yeah,
like didn't like he launched it, dude. You get some ostrich boots on a couple of these cats.
I know. I was gonna say, the lack of cowboy boots is.
Well, you get some white tennies here. They're at a Valero, but everybody took it well, dude.
Yeah, I mean they understand, and they've seen the movie. They know what happens. They've seen Friday Night Lights. They understand.
Do they do this in Friday Night Lights?
Yeah, this is straight. Literally, this is essentially the scene.
I couldn't forget half that movie.
Yeah, Billy Bob Thornton and Mike Winchell roll up to roll up to the gas station.
But this is some real shit. What else are they doing in Texas?
Right.
It was wild. Look at that. There's some class, though. So fly on the wall, these coaches, man. You know, you think about it. You flip a coin, and all of a sudden you got to go home and tell your players, like, the season's over.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Lost. God didn't want us in next year.
Okay.
Not God's team.
Sorry. Sorry.
My fly on the wall is
Coach
Jets.
jacked off too much this year. Go ahead. What?
Too many oysters.
He sees everything. Odessa's going to the playoffs, folks. I couldn't. Brazzers account.
Sorry, where were we? Fly on the wall.
we were at a Bolero.
Fly on the wall.
The future of a high school football team.
I had Jets GM Darren Moogie. I want to be a fly on the wall in his office over the next 2 years. The decisions this guy's got to make. He's got a boatload of top 60 picks, and he's got a chance to flip the fortune of the franchise. So, as you said, Chris, this is like the most powerful man in football.
He is, dude.
He's like the most important.
He's
in the
an
next couple
actual.
years.
Yeah, he can. It might turn out to be nothing. It might be more of the same. But like, can you
Right,
imagine,
yeah, exactly.
They'll make a movie about the guy.
No doubt.
Larry David will direct it.
Draft Day, the sequel.
Yeah, yeah.
Great candidates. We're going with the Texas high school coin flip, though, because
That was just one of a kind.
one of a kind. Like how we saw it in the movies, but you never see it in real life. Happened in real life. What if you were just a person pulling up to the gas pump and you see it and you're like, oh, what's going on here? What did they decide? There's like about
What would I
12
think
dudes?
was going on?
Right, and they just threw a coin in the air and then they start shaking hands.
I don't really know. Yeah.
It's like, oh, did they just determine the gas and mineral rights of their land?
I don't know what I would think was going on. It would be crazy to
Right.
see that, though.
Hollow Man.
Bo, you want to go?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of took the easy way out on this one. It's Deron Payne punching ASRB. We talked about it. To me, it's wild that guys continue to do this kind of stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. We've all been there. Chris's
Continuing
dumbass
punch.
did it. I've done it. I never got booted from it because it was always, wisely done at the bottom of piles, short yardage, and things like that. You got to pick your punches, my friend. But yeah, suspension is never good. You lose a game check, always majorly. I'm sure he regretted it instantly. So pretty, kind of a no-brainer for me on that one.
Nolan?
My hollow man is actually a hollow men and women. It's actually the Bills folks in that bar getting owned by Mike McDaniel rolling by in his luxury car. I mean, can you imagine being Bills fans down there?
I can.
You
You're in South Beach?
Yeah. You've been talking cash money shit all year. And then they come into town, lay an egg, and who but the head coach of the team shows up to
I
the
would
bar?
laugh. I would laugh.
Unreal.
I would
So
laugh.
good.
You already bought your plane ticket. You're in Miami. You're not in Buffalo. I'd
Yeah.
be in a decent mood. Not trying to poke holes in that. But I might actually be
Sounds
like,
like
I like my
sabotage.
seat.
Sabotage.
Don't worry. I'm not going to win.
Well, what is your hollow man?
It's the President of the United States of America. I mean, who the fuck else would it be? You and I know some people in this chat might be like, well, we didn't come here for politics, or you don't. But he showed up, and I'm watching TV, and they're like, hey, I'm going to be reading some rigmarole, which I didn't even get to hear. And I know somebody said he's swearing in military personnel. I respect the military as much as anybody, but maybe don't. If the problem is that you don't like the booze, maybe you shouldn't deliver the message, because obviously a lot of people don't really like you. And, I would almost feel bad for the guy if I liked him at all, because that was about the most pathetic shit I've ever seen. Now next they're going to tell me that's like a stadium full of radical left people. It was like an Antifa rally or something. A bunch of chicks with green hair. No, it wasn't. It was just football fans, and they fucking hate you, dude. Hollow man.
Dude, you're at the Commander Stadium and their colors are fucking yellow and red or whatever, and still somehow the fucking orangest thing in that building was Donald Trump's face in the broadcast.
Listen,
booth.
if you want to cosplay authoritarian, I'm the South American dictator at a soccer game, you better make sure people like you or they're sufficiently afraid of you. What are you going to do, arrest everybody that walked out of that stadium? That's a really bad barometer for where we are politically in this country, that, people hate the president that much. And I'm sure a lot of people don't hate him. So if you're in this chat and you don't hate him, hey, that's your business. But he showed up at a football game, so I get my 2 minutes to shit on the guy.
Yeah, it's you win. Congratulations.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Oh man, that's
No
easy.
brainer.
He was like, everybody, he was like, quiet, I am speaking. which is a local ad for a political ad that I've been hearing for 6 months straight. She lost the race, but yeah, no, it was like, where the fuck are we right now? That was Winston Earl Sears. And again, I don't like talking, but you bring politics into sports, I get kind of carte blanche now. So that was some sad shit. You got talk about going out sad. Hegseth was up there like, hey, cut his mic. I don't want to get booed like this.
STL Memorial. Nolan.
I can start this one off. Tyler Shuck, quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. He had a couple shaky starts there, and they came out in this one. I mean, this is a game you want to see the Panthers win convincingly, and a major part of the reason why they couldn't was, he put in a pretty good performance for him. Wasn't perfect, did enough to win the game, hit some off-schedule throws, a couple touchdowns, nearly 300 yards in the day. That was a nice showing from him.
Chris.
Fuck.
STL Memorial.
STL Memorial, it's Danielle Hunter. Like, nobody talked about him, I'm sure, today on national shows, but and nobody talks about the Texans, except we talk about every fucking game, so we do. But if you watch that game, he wrecked it. Like, he came as close to wrecking a game as any defensive player yesterday, for sure. So, Danielle Hunter.
Yeah, speaking of defensive game records, my STL Memorial is DeMarcus Lawrence, 2 touchdowns. We talked about the Seahawks game a lot. I mean, I don't know if this is necessarily in the spirit of the STL as much as, your shout out, Nolan or Danielle Hunter, but like, it's just incredible to have like back-to-back touchdowns like that defensively. I feel like that hasn't been done in a long fucking time. And DeMarcus Lawrence has been one of those like mercenary hitmen rushers we've talked about a lot. And I was excited to see him score those touchdowns. That was pretty sick.
That was that was pretty sweet. Just almost identical, those two plays, and DeMarcus Lawrence does win the STL Memorial. I think people tune that game out pretty quick.
Yeah, he ruined the game by just picking up the football and running it straight twice.
Yeah. He was like, yep, everybody can turn it off now because I am dominating.
Yeah, ruined the whole 4 p.m. window. That was supposed to be a good game.
Game ball.
Ooh.
I'll go.
Yeah, Bo, who you got?
We talked about him, and he just got to positive in the win column. Matthew Stafford, man, come on. 280 pass yards, 4 touchdowns. He's first in the NFL in passing yards. I think even more impressive, 3 straight games with 4 touchdowns and 0 picks. This dude's a fucking animal. He is playing lights out. I think in my opinion, it's Stafford and JT probably for the MVP race right now. He's a fucking stud, and I think the Rams are very scary. I think he's an excellent player.
Stud nuts. Nolan, who you got? Game ball.
Going Jonathan Taylor. He was exceptional in that game. I mean, I feel like going into this week, I don't think anybody would argue with an OPOY case for him, but this game was one of the cases for his MVP campaign with, going 7.6 yards, 3 tuds, 83 yards to the house. Unbelievable.
Max is in the chat. He goes, yo, y'all still live?
Yo, y'all still live. Yeah, buddy.
Get a game ball from
Game ball facts, being a dad. But, okay, game ball for me is Mike Vrabel. Because listen, Drake Maye is playing fantastic. I'm not taking anything away from him. That game came down to coaching yesterday. Yeah. There are games this year where I'm like, hey, Drake won them that game, and he was great yesterday. But it came down to situational football. And you think about a coach that's had to replace a DC on the run, has had to make moves to retool the defense on the fly, and the thing he did at the half, which is another feather in his cap, a long list of gamesmanship deals that he's kind of won on against some really good coaches. And so I give it to Mike Vrabel. I thought yesterday's win kind of personified, what they're about from a character standpoint on that team. Turned it into a kind of a physical, lower scoring game. and that's how you win those games.
Yeah. Mike Vrabel likely on the way to Coach of the Year, we think?
Well, yeah, if they continue on this
Yeah,
rip,
yeah.
and the fact that Shanahan, at this point the Niners are looking a little bit more human. Steichen's your biggest. Man, this is a tough year for that.
Yeah.
It's two very
lot
good
of
coaches.
competitors.
Vrabel actually is leading
McDonald
the odds at
in
plus
there?
120. Steichen right behind him, 145. Mike McDonald plus 400. A little tight at the top there. For the game ball winner, it's Matthew Stafford. Incredible game, and the heater that he's
great.
on, incredible. It's pretty. It's just incredible to watch him throw the football. That he had a no look yesterday.
Yeah.
That I think 3 dudes on the D line jumped up, and as they're going straight up because they think the ball is coming straight to them, hands are here, ball goes way over there, and they're like, oh.
Yeah. No,
Pretty
he's
cool.
unbelievable. He's been doing it for years where people see the arm angles that he throws, and the running joke is like, well, if Mahomes did that, like I think people finally realize how good this fucking guy is. It's taken, 15 years, 20 years.
Right.
Dude, like seeing what he's doing at 37 makes me want to go back and watch his tape when he was like 28. Like,
Well,
just to be
honestly,
like, it feels like this is the best ball of his career, but physically,
he's been a top 5 quarterback since he got to LA. Like whether it's fringe or like whether he's in the mix or not in the mix, like when you add up, because there have been guys with MVP trophies and that sort of thing, and guys with more gaudy numbers, but like he's gotten them a Super Bowl, and he's got a chance to get him another one, and so good on him. But the thing I was going to say about Vrabel was, and I know I lost already, but this is just an interesting aside, is how much of a fucking problem do you have to be that you make people so pissed off at you that they won't even pick up the phone when you call them to try to like make deals at the deadline? He called Tennessee, or like New England called Tennessee, and reportedly they were like, "We're not doing business."
no
with you."
shit.
Yeah.
He's got Bill pissed at
didn't
New
hear that.
England. Bill's pissed at New England. Tennessee's pissed at New England. They're the hot girl on the block.
Wow. Yeah.
Everybody's jelly of Vrabes. So,
Ribs. Final tally. Chris and Bo, you guys both had 4
oh really?
good wins.
Ooh.
We all win because this is a really nice way to do it.
Yeah, good vibes.
Yeah.
Good rips, good runs.
Good rips, good runs.
Dr. Fax is going to come in here next week with some good ones too.
Does Fax have a viral moment from?
Actually, his viral moment was the soccer game, and then I told him it was your.
Oh,
He was
shit.
like,
I like
picked
your
that?
viral moment, Chris. That run from that dude.
That was crazy. That was a
dude
wild
was
viral
trucking.
moment. That was a wild viral moment. I'm just checking my saved Instagram posts because as somebody with ADHD, I save thousands of posts as if I'm going to come back to them. No, I don't have any good viral moments.
One
this
thing
week.
Nate didn't want to call out is that Buffalo defensive end Greg Rousseau said that after the game, it's different playing in the heat because we don't really do it that often. Not making an excuse. If you look at Greg Rousseau's, if you look at his
Wikipedia and where he's from. Yeah, I remember him when he was at the University of Miami.
Yep.
Now I don't.
Coconut Creek, Florida, is where he was born. He went to high school at Champagnat Catholic
Champanat, I don't know.
in Florida, and then went to college at Miami.
He wasn't even gonna try Hialeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, here's the deal, Cowboy. Maybe he's speaking on everybody else because he's like, man, like I know what this is about. But the guys up there,
It's an objectively true statement.
Yeah.
it's
But
part of the worry about going to Miami late in the season.
Right.
It's one of the reasons we were like, man, this game might be a little sloppy, but 30-13, Jesus.
So tonight, any lean tonight? We got the Eagles at the Packers. The Packers are favored by a point.
I think as it stands right now, the Eagles are a better team.
Yeah.
Now they're off a bye. The loss of Tucker Kraft weighs heavily into this. But the one thing I will tell you is, and this is why I might just bet the under and call it a day, or maybe tease the Eagles with the under, even though you're not supposed to tease totals. They say don't do it, but I do it. Eagles are 70+% of the tickets. Teams with 70% or more of the tickets this season have a 34% cover rate, and in prime time that dips to 14%. Nolan Smith is activated. There's a lot of reasons why you might like the Eagles. There's some new pieces. You want to see what the Jalen Phillips thing looks like. You want to see, hey, did they play Carter in the slot? Like, what are they doing in the secondary? I think it's going to be a very interesting game. I think it's going to be a very interesting game. The problem I have if you're a Packers guy is I don't know that you like the corners outside against these dudes, and I think that's the biggest concern I have. I also think it'll be interesting, Jordan Love, post-Tucker Kraft, like what do they pivot to from a scheme standpoint? I would imagine the Packers try to keep this game like longer possessions, which sucks because we just were imploring them last week to speed up, but in a game like this, you want to keep Philly off the field.
A little bit of history. The Packers have not lost home games in consecutive weeks in exactly 12 years. The last time it happened, November 10th, 2013, to the Eagles.
Facts in the chat says A.J. Brown goes off, but the Eagles lose tonight.
Extradamus.
I mean, I'm interested to see the Eagles run game. That's something I'm very excited about. Also, like, it's always so fun to watch Micah Parsons and Lane and Jordan Mailata. You know, I feel like Micah and Lane kind of match up a ton. They've obviously become very familiar with each other over the last couple of years. But I think Saquon's gonna fucking eat tonight. I'm envisioning the Eagles kind of getting back to, you know, run first kind of offense and taking some deep shots to Smitty and A.J. Brown, and kind of feeling Dallas Goedert tonight too. Dallas Goedert anytime touchdown for sure. Book it right now. I think the Eagles are a better team. Packers coming off a tough loss. I'm always kind of pulling for the Birds, though. I'm not even going to lie to you. So
I'm just really excited to see what Vic Fangio has cooked up coming out of the bye. This is when you got some more pieces now. You're going to get Smith back. Phillips comes to town. Carter. I'm just excited to see how the whole picture fits together. They might try some different lineup combinations. So over the course of the game, we'll see what works best.
Eye on the Packers guards. Keep an eye on those Packers guards. Packers guards offensively, Packers corners defensively. All right, y'all. Enjoy your Monday evening. We love all of you. Thanks for joining us every Monday and hanging with us for a 3+ hour show. We try to hit it all because we know there's fans of every team that follow this show. So sorry about the length. You know what I'm saying? Take care.